I mean, that punch was ridiculous. I mean, very out of pocket.
They made it seem like it's a common occurrence.
Yeah. Well, what's surprising to me was the like think about that camera guy who wasn't supposed to be recording, who just absolutely maybe shattered the Warriors a little bit.
All right, here's a hot take for you. You're the Golden State Warriors. You can't afford to sign both Jordan Poole and Draymond Green. They get a scrimmage. Do you release the video so you don't have to keep Draymond? So you have a reason to.
Oh, a little conspiracy style?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I've seen something along that.
Oh, was he that much of a problem though? I mean, he's always been kind of.
No, it's like how do you get rid of a veteran though? You know, how do you get rid of someone who's because he's not good. He's not good at basketball anymore. I mean, he's just old. He was very good, but now he's just on a veteran contract for the Warriors. Jordan Poole, let's see, he signed $140 million. There's no way they can afford him, Draymond, and their other young talents after winning.
Wow, that would be quite the conspiracy theory. Or quite the play.
I kind of think they did that, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't consider him a veteran, but I guess it's based on the contract. Well, how many years?
Oh, he's been there a
while. Between him, Clay,
Steph, Jordan Poole. Then they have like two other young guys. James Wiseman, who's hurt. And then I don't know who I'm missing. No, they got some expensive players. Cause I'm almost positive they won last year. They won. Who was last year's NBA champ?
Let me.
I feel like it was Golden State. I'm almost positive.
NBA champs. I feel like I never pay attention to basketball anymore.
A little too woke for the rest of the world.
Yeah, well, COVID definitely didn't help, but I guess it would be 2021 champions, right?
2022. It was Warriors. Yeah, so they have all these young guys who just went off for a year playing amazing. Then they win a championship. Now they're off their rookie contracts. You got to give them like an actual contract, or else they're gonna go fuck off to another team who's gonna pay them.
Yeah.
So you get rid of Draymond. You release this video of him punching Jordan Poole in the face. That way you can quietly be like, "Hey man, you gotta go."
It would be a smart play.
It would be. It would be.
You can't get rid of Curry because Curry's way too good.
There's no need to get rid of Curry. There's no need to get rid of Clay.
Yeah. So he's really the only option if you.
Draymond was the only one who was like still there and didn't really. I forget if he was hurt, but he wasn't like playing for a while. He like came in for Clay's first game. Because remember Clay was hurt for like.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, why wouldn't
they had Draymond in the game just for tip off? Then he got off. So it's like he's just an old guy. But you said you didn't see if they got rid of him?
It doesn't look like they got rid of Draymond Green. Matt Sprague tipped me off before.
I kind of feel like I did see that they got rid of him too, so I'm not going to say Sprague is lying to you. There might have been something that said he did, and then it just like didn't come true.
Because this says one day ago, Klay Thompson believes time will heal Draymond Green and Jordan Poole wounds. But, I mean, I already showed the video on one of the past podcasts, and it's a pretty good punch, and these are not small people.
No, that's a good punch for sure.
Yeah, but anyway, to start off the podcast, even though we're already 3 minutes in. So this is the second one I shot this weekend. I shot the one with Mom yesterday, and let me tell you something. I woke up as if I got punched in the back of the throat. My throat hurt so bad. This is my third one of these today. I'm trying to flush this shit out, but so if we're a little lethargic, that's why. We're both sick, but I'm more interested in what happened last night. You got home at like 4 a.m. Where were you?
Oh, I went to Hoboken with Matt, Taylor, and my friend Amanda. We met up with John Phelan up there.
Oh, how's John Phelan, dude?
He was good. He was good. He said he's moving to Miami soon, so that'll be cool.
Oh, really?
That was interesting to hear. And then we went to a club called Birch, where we met up with Randolph was there. And yeah, I was trying to be designated driver because I drove in there, as you know.
Yeah.
But I just got home
I don't know if I like the word try.
Well, it's like I had to time it well, and I didn't. Wasn't sober for the ride home, but I wasn't drunk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would not have driven if I didn't think I could.
Yeah.
And like, I stopped drinking like maybe at midnight. We started the drive at 2. I got home at 4.
Oh, is it really that long of a drive?
I don't know why it took so fucking long, honestly. I checked my text this morning from when I left, and then when I got home, and it was like 2 to 4, and I was like, 2 hours of driving? I had to drop Randolph off at his car, which was maybe 20 minutes away from Hoboken. Maybe it was longer, I don't even remember. And then I had to drive Taylor and Amanda home. They live up the road that way. Then I had to circle back, and Matt and I just kind of snuck in. You didn't hear us come in, did you?
I heard you come in. Yeah, that it actually woke me up, but I don't know what it was. But I know there's no way. I had my door open for the cat.
Oh yeah.
So I just heard the microwave. I was like, "Can you make it something?" I don't know what time that was.
Dude,
but...
I was so hungry. I made some peanut butter sandwiches.
We're used to it because Michael, when Michael's home, he does that same thing. Like it'll be 2 a.m. and Michael's making like Michael will straight up cook a whole meal at like 2 a.m.
I'm not even like a late night snack person. I just like didn't eat at all yesterday. I don't remember why. Was I busy all day? I don't remember.
Yeah.
But then last weekend, I went to New York City with Matt, Taylor, that girl Julia I told you about, and then his brother Mike Nee. And we went to the Columbia game for football. I was going to try and see Will, but the Columbia Stadium is like 100 blocks from Columbia University North.
Really?
Fucking far as hell. Absolute hike. And we definitely got after it in New York City. Bar hopped, went out pretty late, embarrassed myself, the usual. not embarrassed myself, but that poor girl, every time I'm with her, I just fucking talk to her. Plus, I just took my my Adderalls.
Yeah.
And you know how
that's how you have to get those.
Makes you talk so much. And I was like, fuck, I don't want to go to bed yet. Let me take a little bit of my Adderall. And then that poor girl had to listen to me talk all night while I'm just
but drunk. when you drink and take Adderall, it's quite the it almost like multiplies it.
Yeah, because usually people aren't eating when they're on their Adderall.
But well, like, you got your liquid courage on top of that.
Yeah. I mean, she's cool. She's an awesome girl, but I didn't want to. Like, I hate bothering her. I always feel like I feel like every time I'm with her, I just blow an opportunity. Yeah. Every time. It always goes, kind of well, but then I get like the next day stresses about it.
What did I do? Yeah. I can't do that. I don't know how you do that. That's a tough one. I'm not, as you know, I'm not that big of a drinker, but like college for me.
I'm getting bored of it too, honestly.
Well, you get to a certain age where you're like, I don't really want to do this anymore.
It's getting expensive, and I'm just like, I should probably just be putting this somewhere else.
Yeah, females can kind of get away with it a little longer because
they get free shit. I buy them drinks whenever I go out with them because I'm just like, I don't want them to have to pay for shit.
What is like the average night you spend? Like what? Like
when I go out?
Yeah.
So I've mastered the craft of getting really drunk before I go because I don't like spending money at the bars. Like I'll get there, I'll order a tequila soda, and then I'll drink it, and we'll see how long it gets. But usually before I go out, Matt and I will get a bottle of Casamigos, drink as much of that as we can. So we're already feeling it by the time we go out. Maybe some White Claws. Then I get to the bar.
Don't ever say that you drink White Claws in front of me.
Yeah, I like those. Those are fucking
gross.
I like those low carbs.
It's like piss water.
We went to a bar, and then usually I only spend like at most $100 when I go out.
Oh, that's not too bad. I thought like around $200.
In New York City, I probably spent like over $1,000.
Really?
Just totally drunk spending money.
How much of that is just getting into the bars? Like,
no, I don't pay covers. It's usually we usually pick bars that don't have covers, but it's just more like I'll buy the girls drinks, and like I'm not expecting them to pay me, and like I wouldn't want them to if they did. But then like if I'm buying them drinks, I'm like, all right, Matt, you just put yours on my tab, or put Mike yours on my tab, and just because like it's just not even worth a headache to me of like seeing. I don't know. I like buying people drinks, but I don't. And like it's just money. Like I don't really. My take on money. I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean, you want to spend. Like Kenny has the mentality of I make money, I want to spend money.
I have something that I call the 20% rule, which is I like to spend 20% of what I make every month. So that way I'm not some loser who's just like, oh, let me save money. Let me save my money and do nothing with my life and just be boring. Yeah. So I try to spend around 20% of what I make every month. And sometimes like Matt and I are in Arizona. So like I wasn't spending money. Like that's all in the company stuff. So I had some money left over from that month. It's like fuck it, let's go to New York City.
I do want to talk about Arizona later, but
so it's like I'm down to have a good time, and like I don't want to be the kind of person who's just saving money all the time and is like really frugal and like trying to save every dollar.
Yeah.
Like if I'm saving money so I can spend it elsewhere.
Yeah, Mom and I talked about that yesterday. We were talking about how some people make crazy amounts of money and they're working all day, but they never know how to they don't spend it. So what's the point?
That's why I try to do 20%, and like if that means I'm buying girls drinks at the bar, completely fine.
Yeah.
And like I don't be buying most girls drinks at the bar, like just my people,
Kenny's the kind of guy that'll go to a bar and be like, on me for everyone.
not even. Like if I'm out of the bar and I see a girl, like I'm probably not buying her a drink. But if I'm at the bar and I'm with one of my girls, I'm like, yeah, absolutely, I'm getting you a drink.
Yeah, no, I get that. Like the other thing. Like you and I know some pretty wealthy people who they make a lot of money, but they're almost like afraid to spend $10.
And their lives look boring.
Yeah,
And
that's a rough outlook on life. Like, yeah, you've made all this money, but if you're not doing
what are you
anything
doing with it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, the one I'm thinking of is the wealthiest one, and he, still sleeps in a twin bed
Yeah.
the size of this thing. I'm just like,
It's almost like a weird mental disorder, honestly. It's kind of at that level.
Maybe. Some people, see, like, that's just, trust me, I'd love to be rich. I'd love to have a ton of money, and I work very hard for the money that I have. But I'm not the type of person that's just going to sit there and save it.
Yeah.
There's just no point in living at that point. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like, let's say we were talking about one of our friends when their family member passes away. What happens to all that extra money, right? Goes down to the kids. Yeah, but if you have no one after you, what happens with that money?
Yeah,
right?
no,
Most of it goes to the government.
takes it.
Yeah.
You can set something up in a will that might put it elsewhere, but there's even certain things called estate tax where it's like in some states when you die, I forget the numbers, but they take a shit ton of that money unless you're in like Florida, it doesn't have an estate tax. Then in Florida, you can give it all to your people, all to your family.
Yeah.
But like depending on the state you're in,
tried to make that federal.
You can really get fucked if you don't know that rule. And you die and you're in like Jersey. And all of a sudden, where'd 60% of my money go?
Yeah, is that what it is? 60%?
I don't know. I can look.
I forget what it's called, but it's. I remember our former president tried to get rid of that on a national level because people were like the government was taking 60% of people's entire account basically when they were passing. But again, I don't know what that one's called.
All right, this says. I think I have the wrong tax. I thought it was called estate tax, but maybe it's not.
Estate tax, yeah.
That's what I thought it was.
I would think that an estate tax would be. I mean, you're right, but my guess is if that's because the more. I guess it's not more common, but.
I just haven't had to look into taxes in a while because it was April when I was like really studying the IRS webpage.
What are you doing now? Are you trying to get around some stuff, Kenny?
I mean, I do.
You trying to figure out loopholes?
I do my best to keep up with it after the people we've met at work really pushed us to, wisen up and start taking the extra steps to see what
you
you're
realize
doing.
that there's a lot of ways that people say, oh, you shouldn't take from the government, and obviously we're for that, but there's some loopholes in there that they kind of leave up to you. They're not illegal in any way, but they leave them up to you hoping that you don't find them. That's kind of the way.
Yeah, that's really it. But it's like they hope you don't find them because people are just lazy. It's all on the IRS webpage.
Yeah, it's all
not hard to find. Yeah. It's all right there. You just gotta take the time to read them.
My guess
honestly,
is
they're kind of interesting. Yeah. One of them's like, fucking, deep in the memory, 501c3. You fucking, or maybe it's 503c1. You like turn your house into a church. You don't gotta pay a water bill. Pretty crazy.
Really?
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's like little stuff like that. It's not illegal, but you could do that. Well, it's kind of the same thing with farms, right? If you have farm animals, you get a huge tax.
Yeah, huge tax. I mean, you can, if you have a certain amount of acres, you can get the farmer's license. You drive it at 16 instead of 17.
Yeah, that's what the Pinellas did. Right?
Yeah, I remember that. They had that.
It's different in each state. I remember. I think you can get your license at 15 in New Jersey.
I'm trying to see if this is it. I thought this was it. Because this one's more percentage based in each state. So state tax, Massachusetts, 16%. Rhode Island 16, Jersey 12, Jersey 16.
That's not terrible. Like I was expecting a lot more than 15, 20.
But think about it. There's other states that don't even have that at all. Those states that are zero.
That's true.
The list.
Oh wow.
So there's not that many states that these ones you're cool. They won't take your money.
So the only ones that take your money are Washington, Oregon, Minnesota, Illinois, New York, Maine. Looks like basically everything in the northern.
Iowa, Illinois, Kentucky, PA, Maryland. I
don't want to have to find that picture.
Jersey,
later.
New York, everything but New Hampshire up there.
Seems to be a lot of the left-leaning states.
Yeah,
In the Northeast.
Listen, as much as there is left and right Democrat, Republican stuff.
People like their money.
The Democrats are the ones who are making these tax loopholes.
Yeah. Well,
right. There's the ones who come up with to turn your house into a water place. Republicans don't usually like that. Don't vote towards that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like you got to play both sides of the spectrum. That was something Ben really put me onto. He was like, I how he votes, but he would always make comments like, I need certain things done to make my life easier tax wise.
So he votes a certain way.
Sometimes I gotta
now,
vote a certain way.
The person Kenny's talking about is someone that has ungodly money to do that. So his money is affected.
Tissue real quick.
Yeah, his money is affected pretty drastically if he votes a certain way and someone gets into office. Because we're talking tens of millions at least to just in taxes alone.
Yeah, I mean, he pays 0 in taxes now.
Yeah,
But the only tax he pays is sales tax, and that's like when he goes to the dollar store, and that's what we're talking about. People with money who don't fucking want to spend it. They still go to the dollar store.
Yeah. Like, he's a guy that can afford more than just a dollar store. He's a guy that should not be in a dollar store.
What was really going to screw him over, so most of his money is in unrealized gains. So that means, let's say I own Apple stock at, make it easy, $10. And Apple stock is currently at $20. I have made $10 on my shares, but I haven't sold yet, so the $10 is there. It's unrealized.
Okay.
So because he owns a bunch of private companies, or shares in private companies, he owns a ton of public, but he doesn't sell them. It's all unrealized gains. So let's say he's worth, I don't want to talk numbers with.
Yeah.
So let's say he has $10 unrealized. They were trying to, you don't get taxed until you sell that $10 to turn it into your own personal 20.
Right.
That's when capital gains tax comes in. So you don't, so if you just leave it there, like up $10, like you're just up $10, you don't have to pay any tax on it.
So you take it out, basically, when you take out the...
What do you mean?
So, right, if I, hold on, just to make sure I'm following along. Now, remember, Kenny's the stock guy. I know nothing about this stuff, so I could be talking to my ass here. So, I put in $10 to a stock. It shoots up to 20, you're saying? Right? So, you've made $10.
Yes.
As long as I don't sell that,
Yeah. You don't pay tax.
you don't pay tax on that. Right? Once I sell it, then I pay taxes on the $20.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. So, I think technically it's on the $10 that you've made, not the, because you put 10 in already. You know.
Fair.
So, what they were coming out with originally at the start of the year was an unrealized tax on, billionaires. Mm-hmm. His whole entire portfolio is unrealized gains. So he would have, and there's like when they come out with a new tax like that, they don't immediately come out with a loophole,
Right.
So it never came out, and obviously everyone knew it wasn't going to actually happen, but that would have screwed that guy over so bad.
Right. So you're saying that person, our friend, has money in that's as you said, hasn't sold yet,
and not some money. That's almost everything to his name.
Yeah. So if they do a tax on that,
that is 99% of it.
Oh man,
is unrealized. I don't want to say the number, but I'll show it to you. This is how much he had at the most ever in cash.
I am curious. In cash.
In cash. In cash. That's it.
Okay. I mean, that's still enough that a lot of people would go...
Oh, yeah. It's still an impressive number, but when you're worth as much as that guy is... I mean,
now, how much would he be... Do you think he's worth just in all the gains and stuff, would you say? If you were to... Yeah. I have an idea.
This was before the market tanked
market tanked.
He gave me this number. He showed it to me, too. So I know he wasn't fucking with me.
Jesus.
Dude, I got to turn my phone sideways. That was the number. He showed me that.
Yeah, I actually figured that's what it was.
I think he's probably...
What do you think it is now? Yeah, if you were to guess based on...
He's got to be closer to this.
I mean, I think I could ballpark... Okay, you're still putting it sideways, so it's a little more than I thought.
I would maybe... I don't know. I'd maybe put one more there.
Yeah, yeah. That's fair.
Because not only... he's smart. He knows what he's doing with money.
Yes, he's a very smart guy.
He doesn't get fucked over with losses like that, Most of his losses are on purpose, so he can use them as a tax write-off.
Yeah.
Certain things in private equity, or private companies specifically, you can't sell. You gotta be bought out.
Right.
It's not like a normal stock where I can sell it and there's someone on the other side trying to buy it immediately. So, if a private company tanks... and he has, majority ownership, he's ripping that tank as well.
Here's a question. So let's say I have that kind of money, right? And we can all assume it's over $1 million. If I said today I wanted to buy a Lamborghini, or tomorrow I want to buy a Lamborghini. Now, I don't have the cash on me. Mm-hmm. So I sell. I don't know how long that transaction takes to go through. How long can I hold on to that money before the taxes kind of kick in, the new rules and stuff?
The stocks?
Yeah. So if I wanted to, say I had $0 in my bank account, it was all in... unrealized stocks. Okay. Right? Tomorrow I want to go buy a Lamborghini, which is $250,000, give or take. Sure. Right?
You just sold $1 million.
So I just sold. I'm just saying I sold. Yeah, sure. I sold however many shares I needed to get that Lamborghini.
Okay.
How long till that gets taxed? The second I pull it out, it starts getting taxed, or do I have a couple days of leeway where I can pay for it and not have to pay anything on that?
No, April you're paying your taxes.
Okay, so yeah, that's how it works.
So if I sell to all this shit I'm gonna sell when I go back to Miami, I gotta keep a little cash on the side so that when April comes, I don't have to fucking sell something out of panic to get the money to pay it.
Gotcha.
And there's like no really good way to see what that number is either that you owe until you do your taxes.
Right.
That's the fucked part. That's the fuck.
That's the price you pay for making X amount of dollars.
So there's something called a wash sale. We don't have to get into them, but it's like let's say I own Apple, and it's at $100 a share, and I buy it at $100 a share, and it goes down to $95, and I sell and lose $5. Within 30 days, I cannot buy that stock again, or else it's a wash sale. So let's say it's at $80 now, 5 days later, and I go to buy it. If I buy it at 80, it's going to say wash sale next to it in my portfolio, and it's going to be priced in at a higher price, determined by where I had bought the shares originally that I sold at a loss. So I don't know if the math is perfect as this, but because I sold at a $5 loss, my $80 shares are now $85 shares.
Okay.
Within 30 days. Makes sense. And you don't get a tax write-off for selling them at a loss.
Don't get a tax write-off for yeah. There's so much to this stuff.
I know. It's kind of interesting. Like I just had like a maybe 3-month period where I was really working with my partner Vincenzo, and he's a very tax fluent individual because he's managing like a pretty big portfolio, his family's portfolio, and we would just sit there and we would read the fucking IRS website. We would bounce them off each other, be like, oh, this one's interesting, maybe we can use this one. And the next one we looked into were like the different types of loans you can get, different types of mortgages.
Deep.
It's kind of interesting, especially when you're like, I don't know, you kind of feel like when you're looking at them, like, it's like, damn, this shit's right in front of me, and like, there's, 300 million people in the U.S., and all they gotta do is look a little bit harder.
Yeah. Yeah, again, these loopholes that people find aren't anything that are legal.
Yeah, they're not illegal.
It's just people.
It's not evasion.
Yeah.
It's avoiding.
You'll notice that the people who make exorbitant amounts of money are usually the ones that are, when they say the evil 1%, they're not evil. They're just figuring stuff out.
Yeah,
that you didn't bother
put in
to
extra time, honestly.
Yeah.
And
that's what it comes down to.
Not that I don't think that, richer people should pay maybe a little bit more. When Democrats, run on the fact that they don't feel the rich pay taxes, they're talking about the middle class. They're not talking about the actual rich. Because the actual rich, everyone knows they don't pay taxes. Even these Democrats know. Yeah. These Democrats are the ones making the shit that these ultra-rich people are using to not pay them. But that middle class area is that area of people who don't take the time to just look into the IRS webpage a little bit harder. And, they get screwed over the most by these taxes.
I think a lot of it also has to do with the fact that when those bills were originally made, they didn't expect people to really have money that literally is the size of a company sometimes. Yeah. So that's a lot of the loopholes that are used are loopholes that more so involve companies rather than singular people. But when you're that big of a person financially, you become a company.
Are you allowed to talk about him on podcasts or no?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
I wasn't sure if that could get you.
Mom and I went through Alex Jones all yesterday. So.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm not the biggest Andrew Tate guy in terms of watching his content and stuff, but you're on TikTok, it comes up.
Yeah. His was just so amazing.
That is very impressive. But some of the shit he says about money is the truest stuff I've ever heard.
Yeah. As someone who studies this stuff.
Yeah. All the other stuff he says, take it for what it is. You agree with some of it, you disagree with some of it. Ignore all that. The stuff he says about money is pretty fucking spot on. And it's annoying because someone like myself and my friends who take the time to look into stuff, it's like, okay, this info, but you can't really apply everything. Like, I don't own a house yet, but I know how to turn it into a fucking church if I needed to. But I don't own the house yet. He said one where it's like, oh, you think we pay taxes? Like, I have a shell company in fucking, I forget what he said. Maybe it was Chile or Belize that, pays trademark rights to my other company in Portugal, and that's how he funnels money. That's how like Nike does it or something.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking spot on. Like you know about
Right, you can do that. He's just
like Swiss banks, you know, Puerto Rico's tax haven, the other
there's nothing illegal about putting your money somewhere else. It's just there's a stigma to it that you're trying to hide something.
Exactly.
Right.
But it's like, you know, spreading yourself thin so that if they freeze one bank account, you know, you can go to the next one, stuff like that. And I don't know, if there's anything you can take away from that guy, it's like just listen to that stuff.
Yeah.
The money, you don't have to agree with this other stuff. But what he says about money is very true.
Have you ever joined his Hustlers University?
No, I had a buddy who did. I was like behind the Andrew Tate wave. I didn't have TikTok for a while. The only reason I re-download TikTok is because Mike sends me TikToks, and I never talk to Mike. So I'm like, fuck, all right, let me get TikToks.
Mike is our youngest brother.
I can send him TikToks. Like I'm getting real sick of social medias. I feel like I don't know what the word is. Not that it's holding me back in any way, because like you know me, I can get.
It takes up too much time.
Like, I try to get my screen time under 2 hours a day. I'll delete most social medias during the week, but you know I'm single right now. Like Snapchat is like my best way of talking to a girl currently, and Instagram is just you know kind of like a requirement.
I think I'm like super shadow banned on Instagram.
Are you?
Yeah, I went from. I don't really talk about
I've
this.
gotten pretty close.
I don't know why either, but I went from like I would get like 12 likes to stuff, which don't get me wrong, it's crazy. I haven't gotten like a single like in like
it's weird.
6 months.
I know.
I don't know what I did.
One of my things, which I thought
I
was
never
weird.
changed anything.
Oh, let me blow my nose over here.
Yeah. Again, we're all sick. So this is the first time I've been sick in like probably 4 or 5 years, I would say.
Oh, probably.
So
my Instagram, I used to put something on my story. My Instagram story, and I'd get like 400 views maybe, and I'd be like, that's interesting. You know, one thing I've always liked is there's like a saying where it's like people are always watching but they're not so much supporting you.
Yeah.
And like I look at my Instagram likes and I won't get that many, and then I'll look at how many people view my story, I'm like, holy shit, 400. Like there's maybe 200 to 300 people that I'm just like probably praying on my downfall, you know, like they didn't give a fuck about me, but they're still looking at my shit.
Yeah.
So I've always thought about that, but what was I saying? So now I put them up, and like, dude, sometimes, like, if I put up anything political on my thing, for at least a month after, I'll get like 20 views on my video.
Yeah, that's got like
it's
mine.
Crazy. Like they just don't put me up or something.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
My question is, I've kind of been dabbling in this one the last couple of months, but do I just start a new Instagram at this point?
I think you should make like 7.
I should.
I think you should make 7 and you just throw the same shit on all of them.
Yeah.
That's the thing with TikTok too.
It's tough to do 7 though. Like
I know.
It's tough to upload that fast.
I mean, if you, I know you're very scheduled with how you do it.
I think a lot of it's area too, though. Like where we live.
I don't think so. I think TikTok specifically, they say like 1 in every 7 TikTok accounts made are instantly shadow banned. So you got to make 7. Throw up the same content on all of them, whichever one blows up the littlest bit, you just heavy hit that.
See, I have to see the studies on that. Because
it's
why
so
would you
studies.
shadow ban something without?
It's not so much studies. It's like I hear when I'm on TikTok, like what I was trying to do. I remember I was trying to do that drop shipping store for a while, and I was like, all right, I don't want to fucking pay for ads. Let me just start making TikToks. So I looked into like real ways to get your TikToks to go more viral, and it was the main thing that came up was that shadow ban thing. It's like 1 in every 7 is shadow ban. So if you just make 7 and fucking spam your posts on it, one of them should go, and then you just hit.
Yeah.
You delete the other pages. You stick with that one.
That's wild to think about though.
Apparently, like a lot of influencers do that. That was like they figured that out first, and that's how it happens.
That's interesting.
So it's something you should think about. That
Wish you told me that 2 years ago when I started.
I've only heard this recently. Listen, I sent you a video. I don't know if you remember when you first decided you wanted to commit to YouTube. Do you remember what the video was?
You have to give me a time frame because this had to be sophomore of college.
I can tell you when it came out. Honestly, it was a while ago. It was Casey Neistat's like how to go viral video on YouTube, and it said right on it, just keep fucking posting.
I've never not posted though. That's my
exactly.
So that's why it's like, is it a shot ban? And the other problem is for YouTube specifically, I'm 9 years in to get rid of or like try and move over 1,500 videos is nuts.
I sent it to you 5 years ago when he released it.
Yeah, so 5 years ago, I already had almost 600 videos on YouTube.
Well,
So to move all that over is kind of wild.
I definitely think you just keep on doing it. Just keep on posting.
Yeah. See, it's so hard. But I think nowadays, because of so many people who are quote-unquote TikTok famous or whatever you want to call it, I think a lot of it is more so the luck of it rather than, hey, I'm on my 7th TikTok account. You see what I'm saying? Because think of how many people are on TikTok and aren't TikTok famous. We just see the ones that are TikTok famous. So
think about how many accounts they might have, though. Think about
that's true. I'd love to ask a famous one day, hey, how many TikTok accounts do you actually have?
I don't think you need to ask. I think you look into it.
Yeah,
You know,
but I don't know how you would find that. You know what I mean?
usually, so like I have a girl on my TikTok that I see is famous. I'll show you the number on her main account, and I know for a fact she has like other accounts because they pop up on my thing.
Yeah. Other accounts is different than 7 accounts, though. See what I'm saying? Like, if you have a backup one, like if I did one for like the live stream website, or like for Twitch, Trovo, DLEP, whatever. I mean, that's just 3 things, but.
Yeah, I didn't realize there's profile view on here. Do you know that?
Yeah, it's only for if you have it turned on. Like for me, I don't have it turned on anymore, so you can't.
But like people can just see me stalking.
Other way around. So if you decide if you want them to see you, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you can turn that off.
I gotta do that. I'll go back to that later, but that's fucking creepy. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, it's kind of if you switch to personal account rather than business account, which I think by default it might be, it can cause that. But
no,
like mine doesn't do that anymore.
I need you to do that for me. I'm like a boomer with TikTok. I don't know how to do that shit.
So let's talk about your other job, though. So Matt Nee was supposed to be here today, but Matt had something to do.
He's in Boston.
Yeah, he had to visit family. So Kenny has been working for Matt's father. So Matt, can you explain to me exactly what Matt's dad does? Like, what is that company?
Google a flange. A pipe flange, I guess you call it. I think it's FLANGE.
Pipe flange. Let's see.
That way the audience can see what we're talking about as well.
Pipe flange. FLANG images. Oh, that thing?
Yeah, so do it with... So, like, that's a good example. That's the 2...
What's up, Bobo?
Hi, puppy. Let me see if there's a better one for the team. Okay. Some more viewing ones. Okay. So...
That's the one I'll use then.
Matt's dad's company, Ramco, it's called.
Ramco.
Sick company, might get it tatted on me. They make a safety shield for those flange. I don't know what the word is. Not a bearing. I guess a valve, maybe.
I just realized that you've been leaned back in your chair so much that we can't even really see you.
Fuck.
Yeah, hold on.
This chair is comfortable too.
I know.
I like this chair.
Let's go this way with it, because if you want to lean back, there you go. Now you have some more room.
So these power plants, okay, have high pressure oil that they need to lubricate the turbine, shit like that. Giant turbine spinning like crazy. Usually there's 3 of them at the plants. Matt's dad makes a metal shield that wraps around that flange where those
wraps
nuts around it. You gotta pinch it closed, and then you gotta screw on like it's like a metal zip tie, but you hit it with a screw with a drill, and it spins around, tightens it. It's a bitch to put on, but in case it bursts, and then there's a little like hose,
like an outlet.
Yeah, like an outlet. Just like the tip of the hose, not the whole hose.
Yeah, just in case like it did explode.
My terminology's fucked today. So if it does explode, it's contained. It's spraying straight down instead of everywhere. And you're like trying to walk by. So yeah, they make that, and then they have the material's called Teflon.
Yeah.
It's like a plastic. It's like a plasticky cloth almost.
Yeah. It's a super strong.
It's strong.
Like you can't,
it's strong and it doesn't corrode from acids. So when we were in Arizona, we put those ones on those flanges, but filled with acid, and then we're just like praying we don't get sprayed.
You don't want an acid bath?
Respirator on, hard hat on, safety goggles, face shield, full hazmat suit, gloves. Boots.
Oh yeah, you can't get that stuff on.
Yeah, steel-toed boots with like a plastic cover to cover the laces, so that even if it drips, it doesn't go into your shoe. Pretty crazy. But in Arizona, it's 106 degrees wearing that.
Jesus.
And earplugs, it's hot.
Yeah.
It's really hot.
So how many of those are you doing in a day?
Arizona, I think we did 700 of the Thai ones.
In a day?
No, not in a day.
Oh,
in the week we were there, and we had to go into Saturday as well.
Weren't you there for the whole month, though?
No, just 10 days I was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had some friends out there that I stopped by to see as well. Kind of worked out well. But the metal shields, we did 150 on Monday of this last week when we were in New York at the power plant. And we were done Wednesday, so we did like 50 a day.
Okay, that's not too bad.
And usually, that was with 3 of us. Usually it was 4. And we were done early as well. We got there at like 8:30. We were out by 3 with a lunch break. Usually the metal shields take a lot longer, but we just happened to. We were motivated to get the hell out because we were like, the sooner we can get out, the sooner we can go home and like see our family. Because as you know, I'm from Miami as well as Matt, so we don't get to come up here frequently to see our families. Kenny
was here for a day, and then you had to go. So you went from Kenny went in the last 2 months. So since September, what comes before August, right? End of August, beginning of September. You went from Miami to here for a week or whatever. I don't even remember. But then.
So I dropped off Kitty.
Right.
Stayed a couple days here. I don't even remember how long.
Yeah, like maybe like 2 or 3 days. Shot down to Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Now from Arizona, you were there for like 2 whole weeks. About would you say 10 days?
I think I did 10 days.
10 days. I don't know if you left right away, but 10 days. Then you went from there to.
Where did I go? Miami.
Back to Miami.
For 10 days. Then.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I feel like I went somewhere else.
Miami up to here. Then you were here for a day.
Came here for a day. Went to New York.
Yeah. Said hi to the cat. Went to New York for
5 days.
5 days and then back.
And I'm here now.
Yeah.
And then I leave for Miami Wednesday. And then I go to Houston, I think. And then San Antonio. And then we gotta go to Nevada at some point for Elon's Gigafactory.
Right.
So we got a busy schedule.
Jeez.
But you know, all the stuff we're doing with Index and stuff, like until that starts to pick up, because like our work, I don't know how crazy your workload's been, but mine's been pretty minimal, honestly.
Yeah.
And like that's why I have time to trade stocks all day, do Ramco stuff. I have a business that I'm running with my buddy Vincenzo, and until they give me like a shit ton of work, like I can't just sit on my ass,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. So and it seems the boss doesn't mind me doing them. He minds a little bit clearly, but I don't know because they do take up a full week usually, and it's during like prime market hours, like when he would be needing me to work from 9 to 5. I'll be in a power plant in a hazmat suit, fucking singing Morgan Wallen.
Yeah, right.
Fucking hearing 90 decibel sounds like for so long.
Yeah, the drilling. Yeah, that's not fun. That has.
It is terrible. It's horrible. But I'm pretty good at like getting through shit like that. I always like when I get there, I like picture myself leaving, and I can just I can just zone out for a whole day.
So you guys aren't really working together. It's more like you guys this whole side.
Yeah.
So you don't really see each
with
other.
The metal ones, usually someone holds, someone drills.
Holds.
So sometimes it's a 4-hand job.
Pause then, because I guess I'm not understanding. What are you drilling?
The zip tie.
Oh, right. It's a metal. Yeah, so it's like you've seen them on pipes, right? It's a zip tie, and then it has a bolt.
Yeah.
That literally. Yeah.
And they screw it, and I think they're called hoses now or something like that. But usually, sometimes you can get them on your own. You can do both hold and zip tie. Mm-hmm. But it's so much easier than other hand. But we had 3 in New York, so Matt went off and did them on his own because he's got big ass hands and he's more experienced because he's been doing it longer. Then his cousin and I did them together, and his cousin it was his first time with the metal ones, so he couldn't really do shit. He didn't know, he couldn't my first time with him I was the same way. I couldn't fucking close them, so I was just they're not easy to do, dude. I was like, so you got gloves on, and these things have like metal teeth on the side to line the circle. So when you close it, there's no perfect spot to put your hand. You have to grip it with your palm almost like it's a flat piece of metal and push it over because you can't have your hand in the way. It's not going to close. And you got a glove on, so it's impossible to grip this metal with a cloth glove. So sometimes you gotta take the glove off, get your skin on it so that it can grip it a little bit, and then all of a sudden you look at your hand and you're just fucking bleeding like crazy.
Is it really that bad? It's gotta be pretty sharp,
Dude,
right?
yeah, there's so many times I fucking, like, I go through like 2 pairs of gloves every time we're there, and I'd just be cutting up my fingertips and stuff. Not to mention, these pipes are fucking burning hot most of the time.
Are they? Yeah.
You don't know which ones are hot until it's too late. And in like the sweet spot,
that makes sense.
The sweet spot's like right here on your wrist.
Yeah.
So the coverall that you're wearing will pull back a little bit, and the gloves will end here. And you like put your hand down, and you look, and you're just beat red, and you're like, oh, you know. I had one. I was put on a shield. I had one shield. I was like this, okay, squatting down, and I had a pipe right here. And
So basically,
I was in like a sumo position.
He's got a sumo. Do it over there.
I was in. So there's like 10 pipes around me. I'm like this, trying to get this down. Like I'm like maybe there's a pipe through my arm. I'm reaching around, but not. And I didn't know there was one like straight here. And I squat a little bit too low, and it just fucking lined me up. I was like, ah!
Oof. Well told.
I'd rather that than the acid get on me, though. That acid looked terrible.
Right, Matt Nee almost lost some shoes to that acid.
Matt lost some shoes. Matt almost lost his neck the first time he went. He got sprayed in the back of the neck.
Now, is that like in the movies where it'll eat right away, or is that one of those things you like just spray it off with water, go through a whole...
You do have to spray it off with water and stuff, but it eats quickly, not as quickly as the movies.
Gotcha.
It does go quick, though. And it was sulfuric acid, which is like a pretty acidic acid. Not one of the craziest ones, but still, it's a good acid. And it went pretty right through his boob pretty quickly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, if those are made out of rubber.
Steel toe.
Steel toe. Wow.
Yeah, steel toe.
So it got through the steel.
It got to the steel. I don't know if it made it through by the time he washed it off, because he washed it off pretty quickly. But like he still uses those shoes, and like we look at them, they're fucked up. It looks like he had acid on him. Like
that is a dangerous job.
The way it happened, this guy, they were loading a sulfuric acid into a tank, and they have like a wash at the end that they have to do. So like if they spill any, they just hose it over, press a button, and it shoots down a drain into another drain. And we're putting on one of those shields right underneath this fucking drain. Guy doesn't even look to see if we're there. He hits the button, it just dumps all over Matt.
Oh.
And luckily I was on a ladder, so it didn't hit me. But
that would have been a sick lawsuit, though.
Would have been cool. I didn't even know who you stood. They have so many, like the acid plant was a full day class before we can go in, safety training.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. Usually they're like 20 minutes at the power plants. The acid place was a full fucking day. And there's like a million ways to go through them so they can't get sued. So it's like, every time I'm in these plants, like an alarm will go off, like right next to you. It's loud as fuck. And I'm like, this is it for me. Like, I'm going to die here. And then there's nothing you can do about it. And then nothing happens and you just keep going on.
Do they offer like radiation tests or no?
There's nothing radioactive in them.
Oh, okay.
There shouldn't be.
Yeah.
We didn't do any.
No nuclear plants yet?
Yeah, no nuclear plants yet. We do have to do nuclear soon. But, yeah, nothing nuclear.
Wow. I mean, that's kind of crazy to think about.
There is, like, the turbine spinning like crazy, and you can get kind of close to it to see it. They have, like, a glass at a door.
Gets sucked in.
Yeah. It's... I just imagine, like, throwing, like, a paperclip at it. And, like, that paperclip would go so fucking fast into... That thing would probably shoot faster than a bullet if you just nicked it.
Wow.
And you see, like, the lubricants pouring on it. It's pretty cool. And there's, like, this fucking... like, jumper cables?
Yeah.
Picture, like, a jumper cable pressed on a battery.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Pull up Transformers... Oh, man. Which Transformers was it? There was the one Transformers with the first scene is Optimus going into, like, it's like fucking Siberia, and they gotta grab this ball that has, like, all these wires on it, and the guy Shockwave pulls up to fight him. Oh, God. The device that he finds, like, looks just like it. Except, like, dude, it's like this ball with a million fucking wires, a clamp, jumper cable wires style things, like, around it, and it just looks like
almost
bomb.
like a pylon.
It looks like a bomb, dude. It looks crazy. Maybe I can find that.
Good luck finding that. That's a tough picture to find, but yeah, I mean, either way, that's a pretty dangerous job to have third-party people in. There's got to be so many legal issues to that.
Yeah, I mean,
your insurance has to be insane. So
you sign so many things to get it.
Yeah. So, Houston, how many people do you normally have with you for that, though? Like, you said 3 to 4, but what's like a full team?
Dude, they don't have a team. The price, I am the team. Like, it's me. It's been me, Matt, and Brian is the general manager of Ramco in Houston. But the cost of labor is apparently horrible in the U.S.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or quality of labor.
Yeah.
He's like, and it's like, it's not a hard job to do. Obviously, it's a shitty job. Like you got to be somewhat flexible. You got to be pretty strong, and you're gonna be in like uncomfortable. Like, dude, sometimes I'm in positions where I'm like I hate tight spaces, and I was like, fuck, all right, this is one of my fears, tight spaces. I gotta get over it. Like, let me just start doing them. So now it's like public speaking for me. I used to be terrified of public speaking. I was like, all right, let me go do communications, force myself into that, jump right in, get over it. You know.
That's tough.
Applied the same thing with this tight spaces. Some of them are so fucking disgustingly small, and there's no flat surface. There's pipes. There's fucking nuts shooting out. There's just random pieces of metal. Like, there's no comfortable way of laying down to do anything. And you're wrapping your arms around stuff trying to put a clamp on. It is brutal, and that's not for everyone. Not everyone can do that. No one will sign up to do that either. Not a hard job, but it's not comfortable.
So if not asking about pay or anything, but like you guys don't have job after job after job. It's like job, and then you have kind of like a week, and then you got another job. What do you guys do within that week? Now you trade and stuff, but like for people who are full-time workers for Matt and E.S.T, what happens then? Like if you ever decide to go full-time, what would be your job?
So full-time, Matt is gonna go full-time very soon. He's gonna work in the manufacturing plant. So Matt's now going to start cutting the shields, making them.
So for those of you that don't know, because I don't play with Matt and E that often, but he's an engineer. He actually went to school for engineering. So that's a good job for him.
Yeah.
That's what he's into.
Yeah, he likes it, and I'm sure he gets paid pretty well. He's going to move up the ranks, obviously. Probably when Brian is done, he'll take Brian's position, general manager. And then I'm sure eventually he'll buy the company off Kev. Kev bought it off his dad.
Oh, really? Is that how that works?
Yeah, but I don't think it was as good as a company beforehand. I think
Kev is Matt and E.S.T dad.
Yeah.
Why do we call Matt and E.S.T dad by his first name?
I don't know. When we were in high school, his dad was like, I'm Kev. And I never could call him Kev when I was in high school.
I would say Mr. Nee.
Every time I was with him, I was like, hello, Mr. Nee. And then one day he was like, stop fucking calling me that.
Well, it's kind of weird when I go to the gym, right? So a lot of the moms that we grew up with, because we went to school with them, like Mrs. Howley.
Yeah, she call you by the first name.
I'm like, hey, Mrs. Howley. She's like, you could just call me Suzanne. You're 26. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, but that's so weird to me.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
It's like the way our parents raised us, specifically our dad. You know, you shake someone's hand, and you address them properly. And I think my dad has always taken very good pride in the fact that people would come up to him and say, your sons are very, I don't know what the word is, not polite, but they're well-mannered, they're respectful.
Yeah, like where we come from, I mean, a handshake is the start to everything.
Like our dad used to get pissed the fuck off at us
if you didn't shake hands.
If we didn't shake someone's hand, if we looked shy. So people would come up to my dad and be like, your sons came up right up to me, shook my hand, and like it's very impressive. Like most kids that age, like we were very young doing that kind of stuff. Like most kids are too timid to do that at that age, but we were so fucking terrified of dad that we would do whatever.
Terrified's not the right word, but I know what you mean. Like when you look up to your father, our dads, they've never met dad, but dad's man.
Here's a way for you to understand my dad. There was a time where my dad was very sick, and he passed out in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I forget how early in the morning it was. We don't cry often. I haven't cried in like 2 years probably, because if he ever saw me cry, I'd be pretty intimidated. Dad's been through some stuff, and I've never seen him shed a tear. Yeah,
our father is...
he's a tough motherfucker. That's why I love him so much.
Yeah.
I was in this... I passed out in the bathroom. He's not clothed. He's laying there. He's lifeless. Weird. And I'm in his face trying to wake him up. I'm like, Dad, Dad, Dad. And I feel myself start to tear up. And I was more afraid of him seeing me cry if he woke up than getting him up.
Yeah.
That's my understanding.
Luckily, it was just severe dehydration.
Yeah, luckily he was really sick and he's dehydrated, but it was, certain things happen when you're about to die. I don't want to get too gruesome.
No, I'm with you.
But he did that in the bathroom, and he sure as hell looked dead.
Dad looked like, he looked like crap. It was the ultimate form of dehydration.
Yes, and I just remember, tearing up, thinking my dad was dead, and then being like, I can't let him see me crying. like that's like I can't.
I don't know. I don't think Dad's.
No one could understand our relationship with our father unless you lived with us, you know, for those years. But
our dad's a tough dude. Like, the one that always gets me is, so our grandmother passed away probably 2 years ago now. Mm-hmm. She died of a very rare form of cancer. Mm-hmm. Again, I don't think I'm talking out of turn here, but our dad's the youngest of 5. He was there all the time for the 3 or actually longer than that, like 5 years she had cancer, and we didn't even know as grandkids until like the final 2 years, I would say. Mm-hmm. Our grandmother was very strong, but the only time I've never seen Dad cry to this day, and I thought when we don't do funerals in our family, which I'm really glad
we
that
do parties. We do celebrations.
Yeah,
we celebrate life. We don't worry about
Yeah, we don't like that. We did one funeral many years ago, and then we decided that that was for our great grandmother, and for that we were like we said we never want to do those, so now we do memorials, and we had one for our grandmother, and that was a tough one. We've had that last summer, I would say.
Was that at Papa's old house?
That was at the old house, and I'm telling you, if Dad cried, I would have cried. But Dad fucking
can't do it.
To this day, Dad.
That's why
never cried.
I just could never cry in front of Dad.
Yeah,
I really couldn't.
But I don't want viewers to think that our dad's like a hard guy. Our dad's like a funny guy.
Yeah,
when we say stern and tough,
he's very strict with us as kids. He's a stern guy. And it's not that he wouldn't want us to have emotions.
Yeah, he's gonna.
That's not what I mean. He's not. I gotta take him out. Can we pause?
Yeah, we can pause.
Let me finish on this note. He. It's not that he wouldn't be okay with us crying. It's just that's my dad, and he's been through way harder than we have, and he's not crying, so it's like I can't cry if that makes sense. He lost his mom, and he was looking. Like, I'm fucking upset. I lost my grandma.
Yeah.
My dad is looking tough.
That's his mother.
Yeah.
And he powered through it. To this day, I don't know what happens behind closed doors, but he's never...
If it does happen, it's behind closed doors, and for that reason, I'll be the same way.
That's a different level, yeah.
I would never... It's not that I don't want to show emotion from my father. It's, he's not showing...
It's funny, because I know exactly what you mean, but I can't explain it.
He's tough, and so I want to be tough, if that makes sense.
Right, you ready to go out, Bobo?
Let me take him peeps real quick.
Yeah.
Come on, Bobo. Let's go potty.
You gotta go out.
Let's
Go. Sorry about that, guys. We're home alone for the week because our parents are checking out houses in North Carolina.
Tennessee area.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for Tennessee.
I'm hoping for North Carolina.
Really?
I got friends in North Carolina, so I'm like, oh. Plus Jason's down there.
Where are they in North Carolina?
Kind of dead center, so it kind of works out. But
I really want East Tennessee.
East Tennessee,
East
why?
Tennessee. It's just fucking cool spot.
What's funny is
the university's there, so it's like kind of lively for our age.
Well, you know where the office is going to be. I have to pick where our office is going to be, and it's right between it's called the Research Triangle, which is like all the big schools right there, like all the college schools in North Carolina. So it's kind of
Oh, I didn't know an office was going there.
Yeah, I have to find the office space for it. So because the plan is, and this is all not finalized, but right, Aunt Sue, as you know, she just bought it. So
you're on the beach
side. Let's so our mom has 2 older siblings. So our Uncle Raymond and our Aunt Sue. Our uncle is fairly close. Our Aunt Sue just moved down to North Carolina with her husband, our Uncle Jerry. Grandma, so their mom, is going to live with Aunt Sue.
6 months out of the year.
Yep, 6 months out of the year. Mom and Dad are hopefully going to go to that North Carolina left side area, so towards the west.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be ideally right in the middle. Yeah.
Okay.
So that way I could go back and forth between the two.
That might be Raleigh.
Now above that is all the North Carolina, like all the state schools and stuff. So it kind of works out.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping for East Tennessee. Like I don't know. I've been big into country.
Fucking Elvis?
No, he's West Tennessee. Memphis is west.
Oh, it's because you're into country music now. That's why.
I mean, Morgan Wallen's over there, which would be so cool.
Can he?
But like, he's from Sneedsville, I believe, which is like the top right. I'm not.
Of course, he's from a Steedsville.
Yeah, or I think it's Sneed.
Sneed. I thought you said Steed as in like.
I think it's Sneedville. But force. When I say I want to be in Eastern Tennessee, I mean like Knoxville area, not to say the guy's from Bumblefuck, but I don't think he's from like a lively part. I could be wrong. But I'd want to be, so there's 3 cities. There's Memphis in the bottom left, Nashville in the dead middle, and then Knoxville on the east side. And like mom and dad's places that they're looking at are like 2 hours from Knoxville. That's okay with me.
Yeah, that's not too far.
That's not a bad drive.
Yeah. I mean, Hoboken for us is what, an hour?
An hour, yeah. The train is, I can't believe I don't know what the fuck's up with the trains recently. When we were younger, I don't remember it being that long.
How long did it take?
2-hour train ride.
Well,
with stops and a turnover.
Wait, to where? To Hoboken?
It used to be like, dude, I feel like it was like an hour and 15 to New York City.
Yeah, so when I would take the train, I won't go into detail just because it's a lot to go through, but from Far Hills to Summit was
30?
45 maybe.
Okay.
And that's with all the stops.
Okay.
So 2 hours to Hoboken, which is one stop past Summit.
Yeah. Oh, it's only one past Summit?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you just have to change train lines, yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked up. I don't
know what happened.
I feel like when we were younger, it was a lot faster.
Maybe.
Taking the
I
train
don't know if they added more stops, but I don't know why they would.
Maybe. I don't know.
Let's see if I can still do this. Right? Let's see. Far Hills. Right, I'm going to give you the R train line. It goes Far Hills.
Lion.
Bernardsville.
Wait, when's Lions? Before you or after?
After. So it would go
Far Hills, Burnsville, Lion.
Far Hills, Bernardsville, Bridgewater. Or I'm sorry, Ridge.
Ridge.
Right. Then there's a Lions. Then you have there's a
I don't know the rest of them.
maybe
Morristown?
No, Morristown's the opposite way. You're going up that way. I'm trying to think of shit. What's the? Damn it. Summit.
West Orange.
There's the one that would always. It always comes in my head. Sterling, I feel like is one of them. Oh, man, we're going way back to high school.
There was like Secaucus on that one, but that's like more past Summit.
Yeah.
I've never taken it to Summit. I've taken it through Summit.
Dover, that's what it is. Dover's up there.
Dover.
Yeah. So, I would have to take that train every day to school, which was brutal.
That's insane, dude.
That was only my freshman and sophomore year, though. After I transferred, which was so much nicer.
Smart move for sure.
God forbid I had detention. Holy.
Oh, yeah, Poppy.
Yeah. He's waiting for mom and dad. But, I'm trying to think of what else. There's not that much else. I mean, I'd like to go to North Carolina. It's nice, different, but I will miss this house. We've been in this house our whole lives. We've never moved or anything. The only time we've been out of this house is college.
I just hope that the owners of this house after don't destroy it.
Rebuild. Yeah. You know, it's funny because I know what you mean. Like the memories of this house if they make any changes to it. Yeah. You know, I always think about this like years from now when we have kids. I like to come back here and see who it is, right? And give them say, "Oh, this is what this was."
I've decided like I'm gonna try and buy this house later.
I've thought about it, but
the only thing is like
New Jersey taxes and shit.
Not even that. I would feel weird sleeping in mom and dad's room as an adult.
Oh, that's a good point.
I feel like that's a little weird, but I would maybe like own the house and like. Turn that room into a living room or something.
There's a couple things I would do. I like the open concept, at least this part of the house. Yeah. So like get rid of the wall in between the family and living room.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd probably expand a little bit. The thing is, the back porch is sick, and I've always loved the back porch. The deck.
We have a big backyard. I've never done like a tour.
We have a huge porch in our backyard with a tree growing in the middle, and I remember being a kid, and our dad cut planks with a curve in them to wrap around the tree so we couldn't fall in between the tree and the deck.
Yeah.
Now that tree is so big that it's actually bending the deck.
Yeah, it's
so pretty crazy. It's so thick now. But I've always liked that tree because of that reason. Then we have this huge backyard with plenty of room for activities. We got a backyard pool. We got the shrubs. We got a driveway where we can fit a whole half court. We got the whole rest of the driveway U-shape. I don't know. I love this house.
Yeah, I wish. Our house, I have to be careful what we say here because someone's gonna try and fucking pinpoint our location, but we have the highway kind of right in front of our house. So because of that, our mom didn't want to see the highway, and we have this huge front yard too, but there's a lot of trees there.
Yeah.
I wish there was something we could have done with that front yard. Like almost turn it into like a soccer field for the.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did think about that as well. We never were really in the front yard when we were kids.
Yeah. Our front yard is literally.
It's just a bunch of trees.
Yeah. Our house sits in the center. Oh, literally the center of the front
property,
and the back.
Yeah. And then our front yard is wrapped around by our driveway, like a giant,
we have
like a sideways D is the best way to explain it. Jam, you're right. We really can't be giving out too much info.
Yeah.
But inside that sideways D is just a bunch of trees scattered in there, and the only reason I would have liked that gone is all the years that we had to go pick up sticks after like
a hurricane or leaves. Our father used to make us we used to rake leaves for him. Or with him, really.
Him.
And
he'd get the
it's a nightmare how many leaves we would have.
It was like, I don't want to give
fucking
him.
leaf blower.
Yeah, he get the leaf blower. We get the
Our dad.
rakes.
So right, we have a tarp. So the way we do it, we have a huge thing in our backyard. So we have that backyard, as we said.
Like I said, I don't want to give too many details.
Behind that is all almost like marshy area. If you will.
Yeah.
So you'd have to get all the fucking leaves in the front yard and then move them
them
all
on
the
a
way to the back
tarp,
on a tarp.
drag
Now,
them
what our
back.
father would fucking do is he would basically, like, you'd be fucking raking them, and then he'd spray, or he'd hit it with the,
he'd try to get them into a pile for us.
yeah, and then he'd spray the pile.
Or at least off the road.
It just fucking goes underneath the tarp.
Yeah,
and you have to fucking get
oh
it.
my god. You remember the strategy? You'd have to rake it to your foot. You'd have to pin it with your foot.
Yeah.
And then you're doing like a chunk to get it on the
That's
pile.
exactly what it was. Yeah, it was such a pain in the ass. And then Michael would, being the youngest, he'd always get some cop out. Like, oh, you don't have to
like
do
get
it.
out early. Oh man.
What might be worse than that could be snow. Snow on our driveway was...
Yeah, especially
nuts.
when Dad was sick.
Yeah.
Because our dad kicks ass, he'll get right out there and he'll
No matter how sick he is, he's like, I'll do it.
He'll do them. So he was either away or sick last winter.
Right.
And I remember we'd go out there. Luckily, I was a morning person by then.
Yeah.
So it wasn't bad. And I'd get most of it done before you guys woke up.
But and we have a snow thrower.
The snow thrower,
which is nice.
I was using snow thrower.
There was a couple years where we
We'd
didn't
show
have that
thrower
snow
didn't
thrower.
work.
Yeah.
And, our driveway's fucking long. So.
Yeah, because we have that huge circle.
Yeah.
And that's just part of it. The other one's the basketball court. So
Yeah.
to fucking do all of that. So one winter, I was home. I was sick with mono.
Mm-hmm.
We had a blizzard, and I mean like a legitimate blizzard. Dad wasn't here. He was on a business trip. No, you weren't here. You were in college, yeah.
Okay.
Michael, I don't know where Michael was. He must have been inside sick or something.
Mm-hmm.
I had to, with mono, go outside, do that whole thing. Luckily, Don and Jody helped out back when they were here.
Good.
They were
That's
our neighbors.
Yeah.
We used to work for them in their restaurant. They have this restaurant that we still go to this day. So Don, if you ever hear this, we still love the rail.
Yeah, the rail.
But yeah, so luckily they helped me. But dude, that was the worst snow I've ever.
That is shitty.
We had, no exaggeration, over a foot of snow.
Mm-hmm.
When we haven't had a foot of snow in years. So I was like, thanks God, thanks for throwing that one at me.
Last year was bad. I remember having to do quite a bit.
A lot of ice.
Yeah, a lot of ice. I forgot you worked at the rail.
Yeah,
That was
my
a while
junior, my senior to freshman year.
Honestly, what a place the rail was.
Yeah.
For how young we were, and Dad was like, "You need to go find a job."
Yeah. Well, Dad helped us get that
Oh, he
job. Like
did.
he talked to Don.
Exactly.
He and Don
Talk to the neighbor
obviously
saying, "Hey, I got 2 boys that can work."
Yeah.
Like talk.
And we've
about-
always been workhorses.
That's why I've always liked the service industry because we started in it. You know, like
you understand what these people have to go through on a daily basis.
Yeah, you start to see how I wouldn't say miserable it is, but how little the customer, I don't know, we weren't allowed to call them customers, the guest.
Oh.
How little the guests nowadays, and probably back then as well, not belittle, but don't really respect the server.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like it's a service industry.
Oh,
like,
did you serve?
Yeah, I served.
Oh, I was
did.
just a busboy.
Well, I served at Redstone, but I was busser, and then I was like the night guy for a while there because my manager Tim at the time, I don't know if you're going to meet Tim.
I met him once.
He was a sick dude. He went to Penn State. He was in Sammy.
I'm sorry. I guess I blanked out. I thought you meant Tim, your friend.
Oh
Tim.
no, Tim, my manager at the rail back when I was 16. Still remember this guy. I have him on Snapchat every now and then. I see him doing shit. But this guy was like, he was probably in his 30s, young 30s. He got kicked out of Penn State. He was in Sammy. This was before I even knew I was going to wind up going to Penn State. I had just started smoking back then. I was smoking weed back then. And Tim was, giving me fucking, I was smoking with Tim at the rail. We'd go to the back, I was smoking cigarettes back then, just dumb shit. And because I developed a good relationship with him, he gave me the night shifts. And the night shifts were fucking so much fun. I'd be there late night, obviously, which sucked. But it worked out all well for me. He and I would just we'd get high and we'd just work, It was I was 16 at the time.
Mine was kind of the opposite because I worked directly for Don.
Yeah, so, that's annoying. Yeah. I would not have liked
that. Don liked me, so what he would do is I would be the food tester as well, so that was fun.
Yeah,
cool. Basically where my fatness started, but every night, because I knew all the guys that I worked with, every night, and the girls, if it was like 12-ish and we hadn't eaten dinner yet, Dom would say, go take the VIP room upstairs. Mm-hmm. So we would have like almost like a family dinner as a crew up there.
I remember.
Yeah, and you get huge discounts on the food. Obviously, you pay for the food, but it's like it's a high end restaurant. So if you get something for 15, you can get like 3 things for $20.
Yeah,
which is normally would be 70.
We would because at the night shift I got really cool with the chefs. Some of them like fucking still hit me up, barely spoke English.
Yeah,
and like they'd let me cook, they'd let me make my own meals and stuff, and like they'd cook for me. Sometimes they just give me free food. It was really cool. That place was definitely. I'm glad I worked there.
Yeah, agreed.
There's definitely some life skills that you get being in the service industry.
You also learn, because that place is also a bar as well. It's a half restaurant, half bar.
Yes.
You do learn a lot of things about the serving of alcohol and if you ever had to. So that I always thought was important, given our mom did work in a liquor store when she was a kid.
Yeah, but our parents never drank. That was the craziest thing about, I guess high school for me, but because our parents never drank, like I didn't know shit about alcohol. I couldn't even name a beer when I was in high school, and then got to high school, started drinking, and I was like, oh, okay, now I'm starting to learn more. But like how behind I was on just my general knowledge of like I didn't know what a vodka was until I was in high school. Like we'd never heard of that shit. We didn't have TV to watch, so we couldn't fucking.
I didn't drink till college, so I didn't.
I remember being in DARE class in 5th grade and making a promise with myself when he pulled out the box with just drugs and alcohol in it. And I was like, I won't smoke a cigarette, but I'm gonna do a lot of stuff until I'm done college, and I've stuck to that. I was always thinking. So our grandfather used to have this rule. Now we're 3 of 13 cousins, so there was a rule where our grandfather said, as long as you don't drink before the age of 21, I'll give you $1,000 or whatever it was. I think it was more than that. And I didn't know about this rule. I didn't know about this rule either.
I was the only fucking one. Yeah, Will told me that. And Will got the 1,000. And hey, no offense, Will. We know you didn't deserve that 1,000. So, yeah, and then I called Mom in Cape May. I said, Mom, did you know about this rule? And Mom was like, yeah, there shouldn't be a rule on that. That's just the law. So, I was like,
I didn't hear of this.
Yeah. You gotta ask Mom that one. That's
I wouldn't have passed, but
yeah, I would have.
Yeah, I guess. I was damn.
I didn't drink till college.
My first legal drink was a mojito.
Mom woke me up at 12 p.m. on my 21st birthday because I was the first kid to turn 21. Mm-hmm. She's like, "We're doing a White Russian." I was like, "Okay, fine."
On the 21st, I went to New York City, got blackout drunk, don't remember any of it. Came back the next day, and I was pissed that. I didn't get to celebrate it with my brother because you were doing shit.
You went out the full. I remember the picture from that. Remember you went out in like a tie and stuff. You went out pretty nice.
I was in a button down.
Yeah.
In the city, but at one point there was no buttons down.
I just remember the picture. Oh my god! I hope you still have it.
I got him.
It was Kenny. Kenny is.
I'm fucking.
These guys, fucking 2 people holding him up, or at least one person. He was like. That's one of the greatest pictures I think I've ever seen of you. At 21.
See, I would have liked to have spent my 21st bet. I didn't make it into a single bar. None of them let me in. I was too drunk.
Yeah.
My buddies dumped me off in the hotel, and then they went out on their own. Perfect. Completely fine with that. That's what I would rather them do.
Yeah.
But, like, I take the train in with Kins. We get fucking pretty drunk on the train. We get a whole bottle of New Am that we were drinking. Then I bought a bottle of Ace of Spades. Get to the hotel room, pop it. Basically, I didn't solo it. Like, I poured some for everyone, and then I chugged the rest. We get in the hotel to go, or we get in the elevator.
Remember buying that thing?
Yeah, I remember
buying that.
It for me.
I had to get it.
I go in the elevator, and the elevator door opens to go out.
Yeah.
And then I woke up the next morning. I'm not even kidding. That's how.
Man, I don't know how. Dude, I blacked out once. I always yell at my friend Bailey for this. She and my friend Kaylin made me drink so hard that. That was the first time and only time I've ever been that drunk to blacking out. I don't know how people do that. I don't know how people chase that. Dude, I hate that.
Some people, I am not that person anymore. I know what it takes for me to get drunk. I know how to do it properly now, like how to still have a good time. And, there were times where, like, I wasn't drinking, wasn't smoking, wasn't doing anything, and I still would go out to have a good time. And that, I feel like, was something very important. Like, the ability to go out and have fun sober is so important nowadays because a lot of people can't do that. But there are people who, I don't know if it's an internal issue or what, but they'll just chase getting that.
I don't know how people do that. I do not like that feeling of not.
I get it. There was definitely a time in my life where I liked that feeling of just getting drunk, and I'll still get there every now and then. I'll still every Saturday night in the city, because I had a little bit of Adderall on me too. I didn't get that drunk. I didn't get
It's kind of hard to really let loose at our age because there's too much responsibility.
Exactly. I've always felt that way.
Because when we went to Miami with Michael, I thought you would get shit faced because I was there, but you never. Given our schedules were kind of out of whack because of all the traveling for Mike and I. Mm-hmm. But if you got absolutely shit faced with your friends, I was kind of expecting to kind of help you out, obviously. But
see, I don't get like that anymore. Yeah. I especially when I'm with Mike. With you, I know you're cool. But whenever I'm with Mike, I get so nervous.
Yeah,
something wrong
Michael's not of age, so
dude, not even that. It's one of the things I kind of dislike about myself. When I'm with Mike or when I'm with Taylor, for example, and I'm drinking, I would feel like if I got too drunk and something were to happen to them, that's my fault.
Oh yeah, I mean that's just common sense.
That girl Julia made a comment to me about how you gotta I was texting, I was like, is Taylor alright? Because I'm fucking drunk on Saturday when I was with them.
Yeah.
And I'm immediately regretting being that drunk because I'm like, God, if forbid anything happens to the two of them, I'm gonna fucking hate myself.
Yeah.
And so I'm texting them and I'm a little drunk, so I'm like, everything alright? Is everything good? And haven't heard from you guys.
Question, so were you not with them at a certain point?
So at the end of the night we separated.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So this is on the way home.
And I'd like to make sure they made it home safe. They're in New York City. I'm pretty drunk.
New York City's not a safe place.
Exactly.
Right now, so.
And I just remember, one of them said something to me. It was either Taylor or Julia about me making that comment, being overprotective kind of thing. It's when I'm not with them, I don't fuck what they do. If I'm in Miami, I'm not stressing at night what they got going on. But when I'm with them and I'm drinking, I feel responsible. I don't want to.
Now, question though, and this might be a maturity question. Don't you think that by drinking in default, just drinking in general, is kind of throwing away the responsibility because you already know you're going to get drunk at some point? So, see what I'm saying? If I was that nervous about someone's safety that I was with, I probably wouldn't drink at all, right? Is that just not how you think about it? Or?
Sometimes, and that comes into the my ability to be good sober or have a good time sober.
Yeah.
I know my limits with alcohol. I know what will get me over. I've drank a lot. I know that if I stick with tequila,
that's an understatement.
I know if I strictly do tequila for a night, I can basically drink infinite amount of tequila and be fine.
You know what I want to ask you? I've been wondering this. So last year at Penn State, you and I went to a winery with a bunch of people. Kenny and I drank, let's say we got 12 bottles. You and I probably just combined between you and me probably drank half, right? What happened when we got home? Because I just remember waking up. That was the only other time where I remember getting home and I remember going right to bed.
But I put you in my room. You just laid out,
Oh, okay. So nothing happened in between then and that.
No.
I've always wondered that.
No, as soon as you came back, you went to bed and you just hung out.
Yeah. But see, that's what I mean. I don't like that feeling of not knowing what happened. Yeah, I don't like a blank in my memory.
So Saturday night when I was in New York City, I was doing my usual of just tequila.
Yep.
Like I said, I can drink so much fucking tequila.
Right.
And yes, I'll be drunk, but I won't be a sloppy drunk. I wouldn't drive, obviously. But if it came down to it.
If you had to.
I know specifically tequila, I'm okay with my body drinking. That is my alcohol.
Just want to clarify, we do not condone drinking and driving. But in certain emergencies.
We don't drink and drive, obviously.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't drive if I didn't think I could.
Yeah.
And we have breathalyzers. My friend and I had breathalyzers all the time on us just to make sure, because nothing is worth the DUI.
Well, I'll also tell you this. If there's an emergency, a real emergency, you sober up real quick.
That's true.
So, do you remember when we went to, we were drinking at Biff's house, and Alan threw up? Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I just remember I was super intoxicated. The second that happened, I sobered up because I wasn't sure if Alan was okay. It was an obscene, and he was drinking Four Locos or whatever they were, which were red.
And we were smoking.
I thought he threw up blood.
Dude, we smoked.
I gotta ask Alan if he remembers that.
We were smoking a lot of weed that night. I have videos from that night of kids puking.
Oh, dude, remember the M&M story that's been told so many fucking times? I ate a whole 5-pound bag of peanut M&Ms.
That was impressive, honestly.
It's what I do. And I didn't throw up.
Yeah.
Well, Alan says I threw up, but I think it's fine.
The other thing is I don't puke when I drink anymore.
Do you? Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually puked in your room. I puked when we were in college, but it was all water. It was
all water, yeah. I didn't even see it for the longest time either.
Michael, I just remember Michael was like, "Kenny, Chris threw up." I remember Michael at this point was 17, 18, so he wasn't drinking, but he kind of played dad. because he. Oh, actually, we've never explained this story on stream, or to our viewers. But so Michael was a freshman when Kenny was a senior. So Michael, during the COVID era, had to basically live with you guys and party with seniors. For
what happened was, best thing that ever happened to me, got suspended from college my first sophomore year. Spent a semester at home with Chris, my family, worked.
You also broke your collarbone.
I had a broke collarbone that was healing up. Go back to do my second sophomore year. Push through, get to state college for my junior year, do a semester and a half, and then COVID hits.
Yeah.
COVID hits, we're MIA for a summer. I mean, I know people who had a terrible time during COVID. I had a great time. Went down to the beach, go fucked up my friends, drove to Miami. And then senior year comes, or that summer is going on, and I hear from Mike that he wants to go to Penn State. I immediately go on the porch, get a little teary-eyed. I'm like, this is gonna be. I'm like, thank you, Lord, that I got suspended.
It's gonna be sick because that way. So Kenny would have graduated.
I would have graduated if I didn't get that suspension.
So, and the collarbone. So you did an extra semester.
Yes, I did an extra semester, which turned out to be just an extra semester.
Yes, just an extra semester. But you also remember you spread out your credits so that you could do it in 2. Right.
Something's wrong. Oh, no. I did, one extra semester, but because I took that semester off, it's a full year. Yeah. So I did, yes, okay, that's why. So I had full year, 1 semester, full year is my college career. Mm-hmm. Mike comes up there. I was never cool with Mike like I was with Chris. Mike is younger than us by 4 years.
We got an age gap, yeah.
Chris and I have always been close because we're much closer in age. We're in high school together, everything like that. So I'm up at Penn State. And the first weekend comes. I text Mike. I'm like, yeah, dude.
You also have to paint the picture of Michael's personality. Michael beforehand, and he doesn't care if we say this, but Michael
very shy kid,
didn't really want anything to do with us. Almost like teenage angst, if you will.
I wouldn't say he didn't like us, but he didn't want to hang out with us.
Yes, yeah.
And Mike's always out playing basketball. I'd try to go out and I'd rebound for him and shit, and he would just leave.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't even try to shoot. I would just go rebound for him, and as soon as I got out there, he'd be like, go the fuck away.
Yeah. So now Michael's very basketball intensive. Like he's a very good player.
Yeah, he is.
He wanted to be just so good that no one could beat him. So that was his mindset.
I'd say he got to that point.
Yeah. But yeah. It's kind of annoying. He can 3v1 us.
The point is he didn't want us around. And that sucked. That was.
I think what it is he wanted to be on his own. Yeah. He wanted to be on his own, and he couldn't do that when he was in high school. Then when he got to college and he realized that being alone kind of sucks. Mm-hmm.
I don't even think that. No, I wouldn't say that.
Well, you know him better than I do because I didn't hang out with
I think once we got to college, and the first weekend came up, and I drove to Altoona, and I said, get in the car, you come to State College. And first weekend, syllabus week of college is obviously a great time. I showed Mike the best weekend to start it off. We had, you remember the table I built?
Yeah.
We put that thing in the living room. We had maybe fucking first day of school, 60 people in that small house.
Yeah. So in that house, you guys know Johnny. Johnny, you've seen him a couple
that's
times.
The other reason I was going to say that Mike really came out of his shell. The guys I lived with that year
Grant.
Those guys are amazing people. Yeah. They're all fucking hilarious. They're all just my favorite humans in the world. And they're so welcoming to Mike. And Mike wound up having a great time that weekend with us. And I remember driving him home from State College back to Altoona on Sunday night, and it was the first time he kind of talked to me.
Yeah, because
he was telling me his stories in high school. He was like, "Oh, I did this. I was dating this girl for a while." And I knew nothing about Mike.
That's truthfully the relationship that we have had with Mike. Now he's a lot more open with us.
Now, literally,
come out of his shell. That's really what it is. It's not
that. That was the night that he came out of his shell, though, and that was so sick.
Yeah,
it was not even he wasn't drinking yet. He was still.
Yeah.
He still didn't drink when he came to college. He knew nothing about it. Every now and then, you and I, we'd be home drinking Corona. I'll give one to Mike, and he'd take pictures of it. He wouldn't actually drink it.
Yeah.
I'd come back
Michael was.
He wasn't interested. Our dad doesn't drink. Our mom doesn't drink. So Mike always wanted to, be the same way. And I remember that phase as well of seeing my parents not drink, and I was like, I don't want to fucking drink. But after I saw his conditions in Altoona with the pandemic. You gotta stay in your dorm.
Yeah, Michael didn't have anyone because Michael went in. Second pandemic happened, so that pandemic hits within a month. He's in school or whatever.
Yeah,
And then, like, when it got really bad to, like, full lockdowns, and his roommate didn't show up. There was, like, no one in his apartment building to talk to, like, no student stuff. His classes were still online.
He doesn't know anyone at the school. Like, how do you meet people when you're trapped in your dorm all day, except when you go to your online class? So I said, all right, fuck this. Don't tell mom and dad. You're moving in with me.
Yeah, you're moving in.
You're coming up. Your shit's online anyway. Stay with me during the week.
We'll do the work together.
Do the work together. I put him onto a fraternity. We just got it done. I was like, dude, we'll get your work done. Like, all you got to do is when classes do come up and they're in person, you just go.
I think one of the funniest stories though was, remember, tell me if this story's true. I just remember someone telling me this, and I think you told me this, but one of the fraternities that Michael was rushing, I don't know if it's the Altoona one, when he was back at Altoona. Oh, so for those of you that don't know, Penn State's broken up into, you have the main campus, which Kenny was at.
And then there's like
Michael was at Altoona. Yeah, satellite.
I went to Altoona first as well.
Yeah, so Michael went to Altoona. So I think there was a fraternity at Altoona that Michael was interested in. He signs up. Goes through the whole thing. And then they find out that your neighbor was like the founder of that. What is that story?
Yeah, so there's two fraternities at Penn State Altoona. There's Sig Pi, and then there's Alpha Phi Delta. Sig Pi is fun. Guys are good. They party, they drink. That's that kind of fraternity. I personally had some issues with them. I got in a lot of trouble with them, if you remember.
Yeah. Let's not get into that, just in case someday.
Because of that, I felt that if Mike rushed their fraternity, they were going to go harder on him once they realized he was my brother. They were going to destroy him. So I said, dude, check out this Alpha Phi Delta place. It's an Italian fraternity, good guys, business fraternity. It's going to suck at Altoona. But it's going to transfer up to main campus. Once you're the Sig Pi one, you got to re-rush Sig Pi at main campus. You got to go through your hazing all over again.
Ugh.
This one, hazing's going to be light. When you get done Altoona, you'll be in a fraternity and you'll have shit to do because Mike is young for his age. If he was at Penn State right now, main campus, without being 21, it would have been miserable.
Yeah.
Without a fraternity, miserable. I remember so many kids from Altoona who were in that situation who hated main campus because of that. I was luckily 21 by the time I got there because I had the suspension, so it didn't bother me not being in a fraternity. And I had Grant and Pike, so I could fuck around there.
Basically, you were like a secondary of Pike.
Something like that. Like, I wasn't close with too many of the guys like that, but like I had Grant Burton, so I can do whatever the fuck I wanted, you know?
Yeah.
So Mike is in this fraternity now. He was dreading rushing. I mean, we knew it was going to be terrible. We knew it was going to be horrible. It's a shitty fraternity at Altoona, but they're pretty cool up in main campus. After, months of fucking me and Grant, like, using our old connections at Alpha Delta when we were at Altoona, us giving him the rundown of, how Greek life works and how, they're going to be hard on you. You're expected to learn all this information, but you're not actually expected to learn it. Like, they want you to get it wrong so they can yell at you. Like, that's just part of the game. Like, you don't got to be perfect with everything. And, like, Mike being the kind of person, like, doesn't really want to be there.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to give it any bit of attention. So all this goes down, and then, like, the last day of first semester, we, like, look outside, and the old guy who started the fraternity, like, lives right next to us.
Right, and they knew from, like, a Snapchat map, right? Or something
I think Grant had him on Snapchat. And we're like, dude, he was like, this guy's always there.
Yeah.
Like, he made the fraternity.
So
like, maybe he fucking lives there.
Yeah, they thought that Michael was, like, partying with the head of the fraternity.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So on SnapMaps, when Mike would be at my place, they thought he was with that kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot
They're
about
like,
that.
you know?
They're like, hey, you know that kid?
He's the head of the fraternity. Yeah, so that helped a lot.
Yeah,
but
I forgot about that.
Let me tell you, when Michael was just here for his birthday a couple weeks ago, and he's in that fraternity now, main campus, with like 50 dudes. Mm-hmm. He loves it. Like, he, obviously with a fraternity, there's ups and downs, but
yeah, Mike's like Mike was shy and
complete 180.
Yeah.
And it looks like I call him Machine
Gun Kelly. That's the guy. Yeah. He's cool now. He's really cool.
Yeah.
But he needed this.
Yeah. He just needed to be independent. See what it was like. He was tired of being the youngest.
State college sucks if you know nobody.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
When you transfer from Altoona to State College, everyone separates because it's such a big place. Whereas Altoona was very small. So someone who used to be a walk away is now 40 minutes away, maybe a 30-minute drive, and so you cut ties with people once you get up there.
Yeah. You can't see that.
Now imagine you don't even have friends in Altoona because you're in a pandemic.
Yeah.
and now you're just stuck at state college and you got no one around you. So I was like, the best thing he could have done was join this fraternity. And I remember him texting me first or second weekend of the semester. He goes, yo, this fraternity thing was a W. I was like, no shit, that's why I had you do it, you fuck. That was the other thing. So second week of college, Mike's freshman year. Johnny knows some girls at Altoona, and they're pretty hot. They're pretty fun. They're really hot. They're fun girls. So because Altoona was like a giant high school, there's popularity to it. There's cliques and shit. There's always that one group of girls that kind of leads them all. And Johnny happened to know one of the girls in that group.
Oh really?
So we go down. I grab Mike, introduce him to these girls, and we're just getting fucking drunk. We're just having a great time with these girls. I have an awesome picture of Mike and I in one of their rooms with taking a picture in the mirror. It's a fucking cool picture. Johnny gets shit-faced. Mike gets drunk. Johnny locks my keys in the trunk.
I remember this.
I'm being sober because I gotta drive us back to the state college. Johnny locks the keys in the trunk. I'm like, fuck it, all right, let me get drunk. Start drinking. I'm like just accepting the fact that I'm probably gonna wake up somewhere in Altoona. Like whatever. I'm on this balcony with Mike, and Mike's pretty drunk. And this is when Mike just started drinking, and he says to me he gave, I forget what the words were, but he gave me like a thank you for like being a good older brother.
Yeah.
Hooking him up. And I was like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I was like,
because that's not Michael. Michael
that's not
would
Mike.
never.
Mike wouldn't do that. And like I wasn't friends with Mike yet for that. Mike and I weren't friends. This is week 2 of me getting to know my actual brother, And he gave me that. And I remember I even had to walk away. I was so fucking happy to hear that from my brother.
little click in the heels.
A little click in the heels. That was cool. That was cool to hear.
Took that one. Is that?
It's mother.
Let's see what Mom's doing.
Hey, Mom.
You can put her on speakerphone. Tell her she's on the podcast.
It's going well. Can I put you on speaker? You're on the podcast right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'll call you guys when you're done.
Okay. I'll call you then. See ya.
Yeah.
But you said we'll call her after.
Yeah. But you were saying, so yeah, I mean, Michael's come out of his shell completely. Now he's dating.
No, he's so cool.
Yeah.
I had a poster in college of Mike's graduate photo. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I said, if you guys remember, some of the OG viewers, I had your Napoleon one. Remember the Napoleon?
Oh yeah. That was in Mike's room. Mike still has it up, I think.
Oh, does he? Yeah. I did a Photoshop of me on Napoleon's head so that Michael would always know that I was.
The one you gave me for graduation, or maybe it was my birthday. It was funny and all, but I was like, I can't hang this up.
Mom was not happy with that one.
It was funny, and I'm keeping it forever. But I can't hang that up anyway. Where am I gonna put that?
Has the guys in Miami seen that one?
No, I haven't shown them.
You guys show them that?
I haven't shown them. I don't think I have it in Miami. I think it's up here somewhere.
Oh, really? That's hilarious.
I will never get rid of that because it is funny. But I remember just being like, what am I going to do with this? Like, I can't hang this up.
Yeah.
So what the fuck?
I don't think anyone's seen that one, but I did a whole... How big is that poster? I feel like it's bigger in my head, but it's pretty big.
It's fucking huge.
And it is the famous picture of like that porn star that's surrounded by like 5 black guys. And what I did was I made Kenny the porn star, and then I put all of his friends' faces on the guys.
It's funny, but I was just like, dude, I can't do anything with this poster. I've opened that poster probably twice.
That's so good.
Like I've looked at it, it gives me a little smile, and I put the fuck back, and it goes underneath my bed.
That was the day we did the wine thing. Well, that was the time we were up.
Yeah, that was that weekend.
Yeah, Mike and I went up.
No, Mike was already there, dude. Mike was already at Penn State.
That's
he came
right.
up with Matt, Carol, and Jackie.
That's right.
And I remember when they said they're coming up, I was like, go get Pancake. And we did the winery. We had a good time. That wasn't a football weekend. That was the end of the year. I was better.
No, yeah, we did not see football.
You didn't come out for graduation, though, did you? Right? You were home with
No,
Bo?
we couldn't because the 3...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You couldn't. The pandemic gave it a little number. That was another thing.
There was only 2 times I went up. 3 times.
You came to Altoona.
I came to Altoona once.
We went to Michigan versus Penn State.
Yeah.
Michigan
I went
State
to your
versus
place
Penn State.
twice, though, with Johnny and Trent and those guys.
Yeah. When was the first time you came up?
The first time I came up was for the...
we go to a game?
Yeah, football game where we did the RV.
Tell your mom. Yeah,
RV.
I remember that. They brought
We rented an RV.
And then you came up. So, I would love to go to this Penn State Whiteout game. Are you going or no?
I went... No, you know what? 4 times. Because remember that one where there was that... we walked to a game once. So I've been there 4 times. One year, sophomore year, not freshman year. Your junior year, I went to visit you for
at
something.
The Bel Air?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So that was at the Bel Air. Then twice at your house. I just don't remember why I was at the Bel Air. I just remember going to the fucking... was it the stairs of the elevator? And someone just puked everywhere.
I remember. Yeah.
It was like, do we take the stick? It was so much puke.
We went to Pittsburgh versus Penn State with Uncle Ray.
Yes.
That
I
was
just don't
fun.
remember how I got there.
Mom and Dad drove you up in the truck.
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
stayed in a hotel. You stayed with me. I remember that. That was cool.
And then we did the RV where Mike and I stayed with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then the time after that was your senior year when I went up to go see you guys with Matt and the girls.
Yeah. Penn State's like my favorite place in the world to be. I like it more than Miami. And Miami's pretty fucking fun.
Yeah, I mean, I always say this to people when they ask how you're like in Miami. When I go there, I feel like I'm back on a really high-end college campus. Like, I don't know if you get that feeling, but everything's there, just no classes. Like, I can see why people would like that spot of Miami.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel... So I did that year when I was working in Princeton. I was fucking sleeping at my desk in Princeton, just waking up super early, going to the gym. You remember that. That was tough, but had to get done. And then I was in Miami. It kind of felt like I went back to college a little bit because of that reason. Like, you get that freedom feeling again where you're like, that independence comes back very quickly.
Yeah.
And I've always liked that feeling. I've, in the past, taken advantage of that feeling for sure. But now that I'm more of a matured individual and I got my shit together, like I'm in Miami enjoying myself, but it's like I got a second chance at college to do things smart.
Yeah, that's exactly the feeling that I have. Plus, like, our office is down there, which is literally a stone's throw away from where
I
you
can hit
live.
with a football
Yeah.
if I needed to from my balcony.
Yeah, you have pools galore off of
I got
all.
awesome dudes down there. There's
Yeah.
plenty of sports to play. I get to the gym in the morning. Like it's
And if you want to get out of the city, Matt and E lives with you, so you could go
we just
anywhere.
have to-
Go visit friends'
we got a
houses.
sick Jeep down there. I left a Jeep, so we can do whatever the fuck we want. And now that it's heading into that kind of season where all the kids are back in school, so Miami is like 20 minutes south, so it's like more life, more young life in Miami instead of like this summer is a bunch of like rich 40-year-olds.
That's what I hope kind of North Carolina is going to be like in the sense, because we've never grown up with, our neighborhood doesn't have kids.
Don't have any
It's
kids.
kind of like a...
It was just us and the fucking radio.
Yeah, that's it.
But I think North Carolina is going to be very lively, especially if you're on the west side.
Yeah.
That's where Grant was. And
Well, I'm going to be
You'll be
literally
dead center,
dead
so you can
center
do
of
it. Yeah, you can do
three
whatever you
huge
want.
colleges.
I want to... Let me pull up a map real quick. I want to see...
I'd have to look at it again, but it's called the Research Triangle. And we're kind of like on the outskirts of that. Uncle didn't want to be right in the center, but and I don't blame him.
Yeah, so Grant Burton is dead middle of North Carolina in Raleigh.
Oh, so we'll probably be close then.
That's cool. That's really cool. Charlotte is bottom left. That's where Mom's looking.
Asheville's a little more north.
I forget
And
which
then
one
Aunt
is-
Sue's all the way on the coast.
Yeah,
so.
she's on the water, and that's gonna be. I want to see their place when we get there.
Mom has pictures when they get
like to
back.
see
You have
it.
to see. Oh well, you won't see them because
I'll be
you
back
leave
in
on
Miami.
Wednesday. So.
But back to what you're saying about
Might
going to
miss it.
college and like feeling like it's college. My friends in Miami that went to Miami say that same thing. Like the only reason they don't like being in Miami is because it feels like they never left college. They went to Miami
Yeah.
and they immediately moved into the city as soon as they graduated. Versus I had a year off and I went to a whole other state. So that's an interesting thing.
Yeah, it's a tough place. Like I don't know how your friends stay there year round. Like
Yeah,
they've
that's
been there
weird
their
to
whole
me.
lives.
Yeah, some of them grew up there. Some of them went to school there. Some of them grew up there and went to school there.
It's kind of like
a-
moving, and they're really close to home, like really close to their houses, to my understanding.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, one of the guys, my buddy Chris down there, the first time I met him was New Year's of 2020 during the pandemic. And I remember we were on his place, 38th floor of the SLS Lux, an amazing building in Miami. Things were cheaper back then in 2020, but we're all the way up on his balcony. I'm like, I feel like I'm the king of the world. Like I can see so fucking far. And I was like talking to him, getting to know him, and I was like, oh, like where your parents live in Florida? He's like, yeah, they're in Miami. I'm like, oh, they got a house, something? And he just points the balcony across the way, like, 2 buildings down.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Because that's my parents. I get to wait for them in the morning. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
It's fine. Yeah, I can't imagine that.
He-
Like I feel like if you're gonna live somewhere, you can't live that close.
dude,
to
like
your
he could
parents.
look into his parents' place from where he was, and they're like lower than him, so they couldn't look up and see him. They could if they got out and looked up, but he could always just be staring at him. And I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But it was cool at the time.
Yeah. See, it's. I mean, Miami's not for me, but I can see how you can get addicted to that. how it
It's
can be
not
fun.
for me either.
Yeah.
I like Miami. I do not love Miami, and I don't plan to be in Miami forever.
Yeah.
It's not permanent. I think the people down there, the guys I've met are good. The girls I've met are good. The girls that already exist in Miami that I don't really know seem very shallow. They look for guys that are rich, and they're usually in their 30s, 35s. They say, like, in LA, you got to be rich and you got to be famous. In Miami, you just got to be rich. I am not rich. I am young. I work very hard for the money that I do have, but I am not rich. And because of that, you're, like, automatically at a disadvantage. Like, it's all of the girls I've gotten with in Miami are not from Miami. They'll be in Miami. But
they're like
not,
twos.
They're not fucking from Miami. Like, like, a couple girls from Cali, a couple of girls from, like, North Carolina come down. Some of them are just other parts of Florida, but none of them are, like, from Miami. And I've always, like, had a weird feeling that Miami's going to be like that. Like, just really shallow people that only look only care about your money.
Yeah.
And
I always think of, do you remember when we were sitting in that pool with Ned, and there was that girl who was incredibly attractive, but whoever she was with was like 60.
I know.
Do you remember?
You see that all the time.
It was weird. Like I've heard of that stuff, but you don't see that in Jersey.
Because like the girls at the bars will be my age. The guys at the bars will be not my age, and that's the weird part. Yeah. And like these girls are going up, are talking to these guys in their late 30s and 40s. I can't compete with a guy who has who has 10 years of fucking
experience and work.
10 years of a job. Like I don't know. No. We come from a good family. We're not fucking broke. But I'm not. I'm not out here. I can't be doing some of the stuff these guys are doing. You know, like I'm at a disadvantage.
They're like, you want to go on my yacht? I was like, what?
It's like I can't even offer that.
36.
So. And like it's so bad. Like these girls have the expectation of it, and that's another reason why I hate social media. I think like that shit's made it even worse.
No, absolutely.
That shit's made these people a little bit too full of themselves, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like
absolutely. Because again, you only see the best stuff of social media.
Exactly.
You never see
people when they're down bad. And some of these people never have that down bad scenario that humbles them. For me, I've always said it's important to get punched in the face once. I've been punched in the face a few times, as you know.
Once by me.
Every single time I get punched in the fucking face, the next day I am truly humbled. I'm like, all right. I could have done this better.
Yeah, there's one time where I got punched in the back of the head real bad.
See, that's fucked up. That's a cheap shot.
Well, I deserved it though. This was high school. I'll tell you that story. I don't think I've ever said this story, but when I was in oratory, I was kind of my first high school. I don't want to say I was bullied, but I was one of those kids that like I definitely wasn't the most popular at that school because I was kind of the class clown because ADD. Mm-hmm. And there was a kid. The way. I wouldn't say I bullied a kid because I was being bullied, like you put it the other way. But I said something to him. I couldn't tell you what it was. I was 13, 14 at the time. And I just turned my back and he clocked me so hard behind the head. I was like, to your point, why did I do that? Like, what was the point? That was the most humbling experience. And first off, that said, hey, let's never get... Like, we're talking about a kid that was much bigger than me at that time. I was a skinny kid back in, this had to be freshman year of high school. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I absolutely deserved that punch in the head.
So think about the people that don't have that experience of being humbled like that and are still acting the way we'll say you acted to that kid prior, but with a barrier of a computer in the way. Like you're a keyboard,
that's social media for you.
Exactly. These people not only have not had that humbling moment where they said something to someone's face and they got punched in the face.
Yeah, I don't think you should be I think that there's a lot of steps to take before, like, if you get into a fight, you probably could have avoided that fight, and like with just words or whatever. Like you said, you didn't have to do that, but to your point, there is something. I don't know if humbling is the right word, but
what I'm saying is there's words that are said over social media that if someone said it to me in my face, it would be a fight.
But I also guarantee you they wouldn't say that to your face.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the issue. They haven't had that humbling moment because they're not saying it to people's faces. They're saying it through a computer. They're saying it so that you can read it on a screen, but you won't read it from my lips. You know. So like,
I mean, social media is bullshit.
So like, you can only react verbally.
Yeah. Luckily, I don't. Not to jinx it, but obviously I'm not that big, but I've never really gotten real hateful stuff. And usually when I do, I just ignore it. It's usually, I know it's some kid that's just sitting on his computer doing nothing.
Dude, the hate stuff, I feel like I like that stuff. Like, that's how you know you're doing something right when people are hating on you.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
They make the argument of that. Yeah. Do I necessarily agree with that? To a certain extent, yes. To a certain extent, no. If it was a lot of hate, like if it was one person, that's just like one person. But if you were getting a lot, either you did something very wrong, or
it's probably hard.
if you're getting a lot
Yeah.
as a person to take that in.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some people out there that I'm like,
Yeah.
how do you have the mental toughness
Exactly.
to take
like,
this?
I'm not famous enough to ever have that experience, nor do I want to be famous personally. I feel
Yeah.
like every single famous person truly doesn't want to be famous. They miss their privacy. They'd rather be rich than famous, and I feel that. Papa kind of explained that to us with his scenario in Canada. Fuck, where's I going with that? I don't think that I couldn't handle
Yeah,
the hate.
I have thick skin. Like words
Yeah.
will never really affect me.
Like, there's nothing that can really bother me more than like them talking about other people that I like. Like if I was getting hate about my brother, that would probably get under my skin a bit. If they're ripping at me, I could take it.
Oh yeah, no,
But
I'm with you.
That's the only reason that's the only way I could say I couldn't handle it. But at the same time, like you said, you don't get too much hate, but when you do, it's small. Like
Yeah.
I can only imagine what it's like to just get hundreds of messages.
Yeah,
a
well,
day.
I was saying the other day that Nadia girl, the video that went viral that I
Yeah.
posted, semi-viral, I guess.
I
you
saw
call
it, I saw it.
Yeah, I don't know how she deals with. Like, I just said it as like I just debunked it. The amount of shit this girl gets
Yeah.
is I don't know how she navigates that.
people are-
Props to her. I can't. I
People are
couldn't do that.
losers, you know? Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of bums out there.
I've never been the one to hate on another person like that.
Can I tell you something? I've never. I think I posted on one YouTube video once in my
Like commented?
12 plus year.
Maybe,
Commented on it was, you know what it was? Oh god, this is kind of stupid, but when they announced the new season of Bleach like 2 years ago, I was like, "Is everyone excited for this year?" And everyone's like, "We got 2 years, buddy." And I was like, "Shit!" And I deleted the comment.
That's the only one.
So that's the only time I've ever commented on anything.
I've probably
I
said
have 3 Facebook posts ever
yeah.
in my many years going.
I probably have said some mean things in the past
Yeah.
on stuff like that. But I mean, nowadays, like there is just like I don't like. There's no one I want to see fail. There's no
Yeah,
one.
you come to realize that you don't
like,
gain anything from someone's failure.
It's another
So-
thing to not gain anything. It's another thing for like just to not even give a fuck. You know, like it is like you know how many friends I have. I have a very core group of people.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I'm not looking for new friends. If I run into new people, I run into new people. But I don't give a fuck.
It is very
fuck
well.
about other
I
people.
say this all the time. We have, you know, Kenny and I have a very close friend group online. Right?
Yeah,
We're all
yeah.
in the same vicinity. It's very hard to penetrate that core friend group.
And
Yeah.
there are some people
Who
that
do get through. Yeah.
That get through,
and that's fine.
and they. Some people we don't like are in there. Some people like that.
There's
some
people I avoid. Yeah, of course.
It's hard when you have that many people involved because someone could like someone and someone doesn't like, but it's like just because that one person likes them, they're kind of welcomed in.
Yeah, there's a certain level of like I won't go out of my way to see
Yeah,
them, but
yeah.
if there are in there, I won't
Yeah.
be like I'll be cordial.
But my in-person friends, you know, a lot of them are in that Discord as well. Like they're untouchable to me. Those guys could never do me wrong.
Yeah.
I don't have.
Oh,
any-
absolutely.
There's
Sprague and I have been friends for
Exactly.
almost 10 years.
like Kernu,
Grant
Grant,
and I,
Grant, Paul, Alan, Matt, Drew.
me.
Like
That's a friend group that they're gonna be at our weddings. Like,
yeah, like it is literally impossible for anything to ever happen that would make me not have those guys. Unless they
Yeah.
fucking killed my dog. There is literally nothing they could
Yeah.
do that would ever. But like that's it though. There's nobody else that I could. I mean, I have.
But see, I'm so
friends that
close
come
with them, I
state,
can't
but
even imagine them doing
Exactly,
something of that
exactly.
level. So, yeah.
My point is that there's people outside of us, outside of my core guys,
Yeah.
and we're not throwing hate at them.
I
It's
think
more of like
it's more like
it's hard to explain. I literally couldn't.
I'll
Give less,
te- I'll
I could
te-
not care about.
I'll
these
tell you
people,
what it is.
know?
We're at a point in our lives where it's not that we don't need more friends. It's just like I'm content with what I know. I have a solid core group.
Yeah.
So if I have other people coming in that could potentially jeopardize that, you
They're
don't
not-
even bother.
yeah.
You don't even acknowledge.
I
it.
agree.
So
I agree.
yesterday, here, let me tell you a quick story. I'm gonna leave names out, but one of a friend of a friend added me on Discord, and I didn't know this person at all.
Okay.
Right? And I guess the friend that I do know said he and I wouldn't like this kid. So he told him I don't like this person. No, even though I've never met him, I know.
You wouldn't like him.
Yeah, that I
So
wouldn't
this
like
kid already didn't think you liked
Yeah,
him.
yeah. So but the friend, my close friend, that person knows me better than anyone.
Mm-hmm.
If he said that to someone about me, that means he knows, we're probably not going to get along very
Okay.
well. I'm pretty everyone knows me. I'm pretty easy to get along
Did
with.
this kid reach out to you or something?
Yeah, so the friend of a friend reached out to me and said, just hi, just hey.
Okay.
And I just said I don't know who you are. Like,
who is
but
this?
he acted like I was supposed to know who he was.
Oh,
but I think he was told that I didn't like him, just for safety and just to end it there. So he reaches out to me, and I just said, if that person says that we wouldn't get along, I'm going to go by them. Yeah, he knows that we're not going to get along.
He knows you will.
So that's what I mean. I'm not trying to get more friends. If I know you, obviously with some of my viewers, I know them pretty well, but I can't really consider them friends when I'm not talking to you every single day.
I understand.
Right?
Yeah. That makes sense, though. Yeah. It's the same way with my friends. You know, like there's definitely even some of them. Like I have certain friends that I strictly talk business with. Those are my business friends, and then I have my core guys. Some of them, linger over.
Yep.
Like I have other friends.
There's a certain overlap. Yeah.
There's certain overlap, but like I have certain friends where like I don't talk anything to them except business. Like they're like I would barely call them friends. I'd call them more business partners.
Acquaintances or.
Like they're good guys. They're good guys, and I would probably hang out. None of them live near me. Some of them I've never met in person. A lot of them are chats that Ben put me in, but the core guys that I do have, because of the relationship I built with them and like the trust I have for them, there's really no reason for me to be looking for anything else. Like I already have something built that's important to me, and like you said, people come in and go. We don't really have people come in and go. Like people come in and they either stay or they never got the chance to come in. Yeah. You know, not saying I have some untouchable friend group, but it's like we don't. The reason Matt, Kins, and I got along so well in high school is because our friend group had no drama ever. Yeah. Ever. No drama ever. We never had any problem. I think that this wheel is just touching my leg. Till everything happened with Biff, and that was just a shame. Like sadly lost one of my best friends. But there was just, nothing you could do about that, That's the only time we've actually lost someone, I'd say. Yeah. From the friend group.
And then, as you said, others kind of, not fizzle out, but you don't see them as much, like Phelan. Phelan, you just don't see that often. You still by the friend
He said he wants to move to Miami, so I'll be seeing him a lot more. But it's like, I mean, he's doing his own thing, and, like, there's only so much I can talk to people about. Like, my best friends are people who I don't talk to every day,
Yeah,
Like, Colonel, I'll send a tweet every now and then. Like, Paul, I'll call every now and then. Like, I know that they're busy and they are doing shit. That doesn't mean they're any less of my friends than they were when I was living with them.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a matter of how life goes on.
Yeah. Certain people, like, think of the one guy in the Discord that you probably know I dislike the most, okay?
Yeah.
Like, that person will reach out to me.
I think we both feel that same way.
Yeah. So that one person will reach out to me, and I will try to treat him like my older friends, and I will say, like what I just said about Paul. Like, I don't talk to Paul frequently. That doesn't mean he's not one of my best friends. Just, we're both busy. When I see him, I see him. I try to treat most people like that because I'm a fucking busy person. And that person is always like, oh, you're ignoring me? Like an ex-girlfriend, basically. It's like I have girls that give me more freedom than this kid.
I'll say this, though. It's not just us. Like, it's one of those things where that's someone that used to be part of the friend group. And then stuff happened where a lot of people were upset. And then one person decided, hey, I'm going to stay friends with this person. Yes. And we're all friends with that person.
Yeah. So that's why he's around.
Yeah.
But
he doesn't show up that often, so it's not that big of a deal.
Which is good.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I cut that one off. Yeah. That one's done now.
A lot of us have.
If he joins that Discord, like, I'm just out. Like, I'm not gonna tell other people they can't be friends with him.
Absolutely.
But, there was a cycle with that kid where he text me, I'd text him, maybe we hang out, stop hanging out for a while. He'd text me, I'd text him, I wouldn't hang out with him, he'd get mad about it. We'd amend the friendship, and that cycle would repeat so many times for the past 8 years of my life. So he sent me text to re-amend, and I was like, this is part of the cycle. Done. Didn't respond. Yeah. It's not even worth my time anymore.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Like I'm at that point now. I got my friends. I'm not looking for new friends. Yeah. I'm not looking to rebuild bridges. Like, life is good right now.
It's got to be. Well, I'll say I made that same decision a couple of years ago, but then I met Dave. Right through Matt. Okay. Dave, I didn't think Dave and I would get along at all. But
Dave's funny.
Dave and I get along real well.
Yeah.
So he and I had one fight, somewhat recently actually, and we talked it out like men.
Good. And that's how it is in that chat. Yeah. Like when people beef in there, usually they talk it out, but.
Oh, there's been a couple times where, like before you were in the Discord, many years ago, back when I first started YouTube, Matt and I, Sprague and I, got into a huge fight where he and I didn't talk for like 3 months or something like that.
I've gotten in quite a few fights.
But let me tell you, Matt one day just reached out to me. He said, "Listen, dude, we're fucking men. We don't do this shit. We're not girls." And I said, "Yeah, you're right."
Yeah.
Now Matt's, I mean, honestly, one of my closest friends.
That is the good thing about being a guy, in my opinion.
Yeah, girls don't.
Whenever we have beef, like we do figure it out almost instantaneously.
Yeah. Matt and I have gotten into since then. Matt and I have gotten into some serious fights, and like the next day we're still together.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
Dude,
my friend's
I think
the same way.
Here's the best way to describe our friend group. Like when at the worst of times, there was a time when Grant, my Grant. But there's a couple Grants. But Grant and Matt got into a really bad fight during a Rainbow Six Siege game.
Okay.
And Grant's he's gonna get mad at me. Chinese? I forget. He's half Chinese. And Matt said a very racial slur towards him in anger, right?
Yikes.
So the next round, they were cool. That's it.
That's
how our friend group works.
See, I'm not in that Discord as much anymore because
just time. The only time I'm in there is really for the fights.
The UFCs. Well,
also, there's so many people in there now that I don't know, and as we said before, I don't want to know these. Like I don't need to.
That one person brings more people in, and then it's like, hey man, we had a pretty tight circle here. I don't know these people, and they're just here now. So it's like, not that I have any issue with new people. It just doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to be friends with them.
So what's funny, and I didn't even know you could do this, but there's actually certain channels in that Discord that others can't see.
So yeah.
So
did we put you in those or no?
Yeah, I'm in
okay.
those.
You're in them now?
Yeah.
So
I was one of the.
That's usually where I am. Oh, I thought you could see them.
I can see them. I just don't. I realize that there's a reason.
That's usually where
I
I'm
didn't know
at.
you could do that.
Yeah, so I hang out down there usually if I am in Discord. If not, I go to my own server or Matt's server or Johnny's server. Like, I really don't play video games anymore. I've been trying really hard not to. I never was humongous into video games, as you know.
Yeah.
I do like them. I like playing them. I love Rust. Rust is fun. That's probably the only thing I'll play now. But I'm in Discord all day trading with the guys, and then Matt and E will immediately leave and go to Ken's Discord to go fuck around, do some shit,
do some league or something.
And I'll open up that Discord and I'm about to go in, and I'm just like, who the fuck are these people?
No exaggeration. There's 20 people in there.
Yeah.
Half of them are muted anyway. So I'm like, why am I in here?
They change their names every time, and I'm like, oh fuck, I don't even know.
That Discord has like 1,000 people in it. It's like people that they played with once.
They have, so it's like something that was really, really good. It's still good. And when we do the UFCs on Saturday nights and we're all in there, fucking love that. That's
fun.
That's really fun.
Oh my god, that's so much fun.
But it's like,
I wish we could stream those, but it's such a problem.
No.
Those
could not get out. It
would be FBI everywhere, at everyone's house.
So going into that Discord now is something I will only do for at most 30 minutes to say what up to the boys. Yeah, and then I'm out. Maybe they're streaming a football
game. It just gets too good. I just mute all the people that aren't even Here's the problem with that Discord, and I have no problem saying this. We're there for the fights. The other people are there for video games, which is fine. But I don't want to be watching the fights while you're screaming call-outs for Overwatch or League of Legends.
Sometimes I feel bad. Sometimes I feel bad muting them because some of them I know and some of them would be talking to me, but it's like I'm trying to watch the fucking fight.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like they don't leave the Discord. Like there's multiple channels in there. One's for gaming, but no one wants to say anything. And I wish Alan would just start. Alan's
monitoring it a little bit more. Yeah. It's like some people don't mind that stuff. I think because we grew up with Dad who likes things quiet and organized.
I think that's exactly it.
That's why. Like
Matt Sprague will play competitive games with blasting music to the point where he can't hear me, and he does fine. I'm like, how do you do that?
I don't know how that's possible.
I think it's ADD.
Maybe. I've always felt that I focus better with one headphone in, listening to music. Like in college, that was definitely the case for me.
I can't even when I'm in that Discord, it's not like, again, there's 20 people in there. Mm-hmm. Everyone's having multiple conversations at a time.
So many different games.
The second I hear another person start speaking, my train of thought is all gone.
Yeah,
all gone.
That is the problem. So whenever I'm in there and I am trying to game, which obviously isn't that frequently. So when I am trying to play video games, I want to play video games. I don't want to be distracted with other shit. I finally have time where I'm not working. And I don't play video games frequently, so if there's a time where I feel like I want to play a video game, that means I really want to fucking play. And I don't want to hear kids screaming. So most of the times, I'm playing alone. I'm in that server, that channel below where no one can see me. Sometimes Matt will join. Sometimes Kins will say what's up. But it's like I can't listen to a million things going on.
Yeah. Some will be playing FIFA, some will be playing Counter-Strike. It's wild.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just my brain doesn't
There's a time
like
to
that.
place.
Yeah. And I don't want to look like an asshole for not being in there.
Here's what I'll say though. It's not. They know why we're there. We're all there to watch the fights. So for you to still be in there when we're watching those fights, it's almost disingenuous on their part to.
I don't know about that.
You don't think so?
Because it's like...
Because there's so many channels in there for gaming.
Yeah.
We all know that the 4 of you who are playing are not watching the fights.
Because
so why are you...
But usually there's like 1 or 2 guys that are playing and watching
the fights.
And
Yeah, that's where it gets dicey.
That's where it gets dicey. So, I mean, like you said, you just mute them. But...
That's what I do.
It's,
But then 20 people go... Because I have them muted, but I'm having a conversation with Matt, and then Matt's like, what'd you say? What'd you say? Because you can't hear them.
Exactly. They're talking, and like conversation gets mixed if you don't hear a question. So,
it's nuts.
That's why I'm just like, I'm not even in there anymore. Like, I'll go in very rarely to watch a game, and then for the fights, that's it.
Yeah, but I am glad we have that core group of friends because, again, as I said, they're probably lifelong friends. I can't think of any.
They definitely are. I can't think of anyone else that I wouldn't want in my core group. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, there's some that, like Matt Sprague, it probably wouldn't be in most people's core friend group, but
he's in ours. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's in ours, definitely.
He's in ours.
Same with Dave. Dave's working his way in, and yeah, I mean, I like Dave. Dave has a weird schedule though, so that's why we don't really get to see him. But when he is on, I go out of my way to make some time for him.
Yeah,
so,
he's cool. I like Dave.
There's a lot of people in there, and then Alan and Matt Nee we've known since high school. So
yeah, Drew I'm seeing this weekend.
Yeah, I've only met Drew twice briefly because in person.
I've only met Drew like twice in person as well.
Yeah. He was Matt Nee's roommate, so that's how we know him.
In college. No,
and Matt Nee was like, he's cool. And if Matt Nee, Alan, Sprague, or Jason says this person's cool, I'm always good. They could be that. Yeah. That's how I know.
I'm a little less like that. Like I do have to meet the person. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Like you said, like.
I give him a chance. I'm not saying you're part of the core, but I'll give you a chance.
You said like if someone says that you don't like him, you probably don't like him. I agree with that. If they told me that, then it's probably the same way. But if they tell me I do like him, I wouldn't believe them still. If they told me I wouldn't like someone, I believe them.
If you told me I'd get along with them, I'd say, okay, I'll give him a chance. But like, if you tell me you're not going to get along with a person, I'll go.
Exactly. If they told me I would get along with someone, I'll give them a chance. But I wouldn't immediately be like, oh, all right, I'll probably get along with this guy. I just assume I'm not. Yeah.
Like as I said, I didn't think Dave and I would get along, and
now you do.
Now we do. But we just did 2 hours, brother. We just did 2 whole hours.
I can keep going, dude.
I could too, but I don't know how long that GoPro's going to survive for. So we could wrap it up there. That was a good conversation.
How do you know when it's done? Will that end recording there?
Yeah, I can hit it from here.
That's cool.
You can figure out how to Bluetooth them. I can see how it's going too. So, yeah. But we'll end it there. That was a good 2 hours. Hopefully. Do you know when you're going to be back?
I got no idea.
Yeah, so probably Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Maybe we can bang one out there. We could do one, you, me, and Michael. Let's fucking do that.
I was going to say we can do one tomorrow if you want.
I don't have the time because I have stream, so I have to do... Yeah, I already have the next 2 weeks, but hopefully... I'd love to do one, me,
Is this one next or is Mom's next?
Mom and I's tomorrow. I have to rent that out tonight, and then this one will be next week.
Okay.
So, yeah. Just because we didn't do any news, so it's not news intensive, so I'll figure it out. But we'll end it there. Hopefully next time we can do it. You, me, Michael, maybe even Mom. But with Mom, it's too like all news and stuff. Like Mom's kind of its own special thing.
Listen, Mike would be better with us if Mom wasn't at the desk. Just remember
that. Yeah, that's true.
We'd have a much better podcast if Mom was upstairs.
Yeah, we'll do that. We could do that. I have no problem with that. Yeah. I wanted to get Matt Nee on today, but
he go to Boston.
Hopefully, if he comes back,
he'll be with me. So there's a chance. We do have to go do another job. So during Thanksgiving.
Okay.
But she'll be around.
It's time to end it then. So, guys, only thing I have to promote. Do you want to promote anything? You got any social media stuff you want people following? I don't even know.
Not really.
Kate's doing a meet and greet.
I mean, if anyone's ever in Miami, would love to be my brother's viewers.
If you ever want to party hard with Kenny.
I don't want you knowing my social medias.
Yeah, that's different.
Let me see my Discords maybe.
No call, anything.
No.
Promote any business stuff. But...
I just want to promote Money to Lobs LLC. That's all.
Johnny's LLC. What is the paperwork on that? Is that like a legitimate?
No, I have my own LLC. He didn't have one.
Okay.
He didn't have one, but he's got some merch for it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I gotta do merch too. We were in the process. I need help with that.
Which I work on that.
Yeah, I might need Ben on that one, but I know.
I'm not allowed to talk to Ben anymore, so...
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that, but... Either way, guys, we'll end it there. Only things I have to promote. So, tomorrow will be Monday, so this would come out. I have to think of stuff for the week because, this is a week in advance. So, by then... so, all the streams. Wednesday will be Astra Gods or whatever. That one comes out. Friday, I don't know what that video will be, so... By now, you guys will know what it was. Speedrun... And then, that's pretty much it. Social media down below, as well as promo codes, Discord, stream links. And that's pretty much it, guys. So, Kenny, thank you for doing a 2-hour podcast. And
I can always go longer. I'm always down to do more.
Yeah.
Just find the time is the hard part. But this is good that we were able to.
Yeah, bang one out. All right, guys. Laters.
Yep.